Here we're back, and it's a new PC, so it's going to be quite a different thing than per usual, I think. Hopefully, anyway. I'm pretty hyped to see how exactly this actually works. And yeah, we shall see how we can actually make this stream go today. I just need to kind of mess with my sound settings a bit, apparently. Okay, yeah, here we go. So I was kind of worried my speakers were off, so they totally aren't. I think we're kind of good to go. I just need to kind of check whether my restream is around and yeah, just verify a few small things. Generally speaking, it looks like we can actually stream, and yeah, I did run some tests today. It seems very promising. I can definitely stream in 1080p without any big throttling, without any issues. It's just ridiculous. Like, all games work on ultra. So here we go. We're just actually getting started right now with that. I just need to kind of see to every like smaller detail here and there, and from there we should be able to just kind of have it our way finally, because it's been a while actually. Right, I was trying to put the computer together for quite a bit, so getting this to work is definitely a very cool thing altogether. I'm just gonna verify quickly that, you know, YouTube does actually follow in suit after Twitch, because it's not always like this, I guess. So the stream doesn't seem to be online on YouTube, does it? No, it is fine. It's just there. Just verify the quality quickly. Well, it's looking quite promising, to be honest. And we'll probably play some game to get started, and then we'll of course also try to cast some games. We shall see how it goes, really. Right. It seems like everything is in order, and you know the stream quality is indeed 1080p. It's looking quite promising, to be honest. Like, I know also that YouTube quality is higher than Twitch for some reason, so that's quite a good thing overall. And we shall see how that actually translates to actual gameplay value, I guess, for AoE 4. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be hard because I have like a bigger screen among other things, so it might kind of switch around a little bit for that reason. We'll play a 2v2 to get warmed up, because honestly, like, I'm not like really that. I don't feel like I should be playing 1v1s right now on a new PC. That's gonna be frustrating, because I have like a way bigger screen than I did before, and RTS kind of changes, and also my mouse accuracy and some other stuff is probably going to differ a little bit. So we'll of course try to make adjustments for that as we go forward. So just checking out how exactly my YouTube is working. I think it's all okay, right? The game is looking fine. I mean, the game is not there yet, to be honest, but yeah. It seems to be fine. Like, the stream is online, there is no throttling or anything like that, so there. It should be relatively sharp as well. I hope so, anyhow. It is indeed sharp. Just waiting now for the game to actually catch something. I was considering also casting a few, but that would probably require Marine Lords to go into a game. I have no idea who those two guys are, honestly. So maybe check them out later. I do want to cast some games today as well. I think this wee guy is quite high elo, so we'll just very quickly do a check as we wait for the game to start. He is rank 1k globally, which is not bad in any way. Oh, wait, Marine Lord, actually, you know what? Let's just watch Marine Lord play, shall we? If we can actually get to observe. I don't think we can yet. Wait, what the hell? Here we go. I'm gonna watch Marine Lord, and that's always good. So we'll just go into the casting mode. We'll disable the camera. It's gonna be like a short wait. Anyhow, so I can still keep the camera on. I hope it's gonna be fun to see Marine Lord actually. Oh, he's playing this very good guy called 3DB, and that guy is allegedly very decent. I saw him on other streams, and he was kicking some major ass. So I hope we have like a very interesting cast to kick things off. So it's gonna be Marine Lord versus 3DB. 5 minutes to go though, because that's how the spectator mode works. They just probably don't want people to be, because it's very easy to cheat if you're playing an RTS without a delay, right? If you're really trying to cheat, I'm not sure why anyone would be cheating in 1v1 competitive games. I know people are doing this, like people are map hacking like crazy and stuff. So especially that you can actually see your opponent's movements, you can see their villagers exposed, because people are just going to be doing lots of greedy stuff. So the 5-minute delay ensures that someone doesn't just have a second account and doesn't spectate their own games, right, and doesn't kind of follow their opponents like step in step, right? That would be shitty. So that's why this is in place, I guess. So we're just kind of, I think it makes a lot of sense, to be honest, for something like this to be implemented. So guys, like once it launches, it'll tell me about the quality. Okay, I see there are like some people in the audience already, so I'm really looking forward to hearing your opinion on the quality of the stream, as well as on I guess it's kind of general remarks on how good it looks overall, because that's something that I would really like to hear, to be honest. So yeah, that's because I'm not really sure. I think it looks good, but I did compare my qualities, because I did actually do like a test on Twitch, and I compared my stream quality to somebody else's stream quality, and it was looking very good, guys. It was looking very, very promising. So I'm just kind of hoping it's going to translate into just general stream quality right now everywhere else. So yeah, we shall see how exactly that actually pans out. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll just try to cast a few games. We'll see how exactly Marine Lord does on HRE, which is, I guess, going to be a very interesting matchup, because HRE was rather unpopular up until now. That's something that you have to say. Like HRE, I'm not really sure why, because they have the best economy. Obviously, they had that bag with the Prelate, right, where the Prelate was just randomly stopping. When he was pushed by an area unit, he would stop buffing the villagers with the extra 40% gathering rate, which is insane, right? So that's gone. The bug is gone. So now it's going to be a very interesting thing to see how exactly Marine Lord actually handles this. But it is still, you know, it's gonna still be in a minute 30, because it has to load. I'm pretty happy, actually. Like my very first cast on the new PC, right? It's gonna be cool. And then we'll probably play some ladder. So yeah, would you guys prefer to see cast or ladder? Because I did actually post a survey on YouTube, and the majority did vote about, like, they preferred casting to gameplay. So hence my question, really. Would you guys prefer to say the cast, or would you guys prefer to say the actual ladder play? Dear chat. Yes, because I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna be doing both anyway, but that's just about the popularity, right? I'll probably just maybe do dedicated streams for PvP, dedicated streams for casting. I probably will play some other games as well, like, since I can now, right? It's kind of cool. I can stream like Baldur's Gate 4, Baldur's Gate 3, that is, Pathfinder. I really wanted to play the new Wrath of the Righteous. So I might also do some RPG streams every now and then. I think it's gonna be cool. I really have not seen BG3. Like, I tried not to watch people play it because I was very annoyed it wouldn't work on my PC. So yeah, that's basically how it is. So the cast is about to start. I shall obviously remove my freaking face off the screen. And let's have a look at how exactly those two guys play. Whew. Okay, it's gonna be the very first cast on my new PC, and in the west of the map being Boulder Bay, actually, it's going to be 3DB playing the Rus Very surprising not to see French on Boulder Bay. I guess that's just got to be related to the new patch, right? In the west, in the red, it is gonna be Marine Lord, one of the best players in the world, playing the Holy Roman Empire. And it is going to... It's the east, of course, right? It's the east. And Boulder Bay, I think they changed quite a few things about the map. And they also changed a lot of things about the minimap. Can you guys see how much clearer this has become? And this is because they first of all removed all those small fish deposits. Right, as actually all those schools have been removed from the minimap, so it's way clearer now. You only see the deep sea fish on the minimaps right now, which makes it a bit more transparent. And of course, I think they just kind of made it more... the differences are just way sharper, so you can see way more on the minimap than you could see before. The icons are a bit smaller as well, I believe, which again contributes to the clarity overall. Now, as far as the gameplay goes, both players just kind of going for this classic opening. Hey there, nothing else. Lovely to see you. Oh, I have not seen you in a long time. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm really glad you're here. You're the legend of Darkest Dungeon, aren't you? So, if you go for the water map play, you generally speaking want to have 3 villagers on food, and any excess villas that you produce for quite a while anyway should go towards the wood. This is because you want to be gathering enough food to keep producing villagers until you can support your economy with the fishing ships, while simultaneously, just kind of building up that wood count so you can actually keep producing the fishing ships altogether. So that's kind of cool to see that those players are doing exactly this, of course. This should come as no surprise, though. Marine Lord basically going for the same deal. You guys can see 5 villagers on food, 5 on wood, 6 here for the Rus. This is because I think he had to build a prelate as well, which is a unit of Holy Roman Empire that buffs the gathering speed of the villagers, whom we can see actually over here. So indeed the prelate is standing in the woodline here, buffing the villagers who are trying to gather the resources. The game is stuttering, that's not my fault, by the way. I have to pause for a second because it just means that is basic Age of Empires replays. That's how they work. So we have to just make a small pause because otherwise it's just going to be a bit choppy. So just 10-15 seconds and it's going to be fine again. So when you look at this thing overall, you can see they're both going for fishing boats, right? Both Rus and HRE have decent production. I think HRE has a small bonus to the production of the naval units, so I think they should be able to pump out some extra fishing ships overall. This is 25 seconds to produce one over here for HRE, and actually no, 25 for the Rus as well. I might be wrong on this front then. As far as the general interactions go, you can see 2 scouts for the Rus, which is no surprise once again, since the Rus needs to get the hunts going. They're just a hunting civ, so those scouts can be quite pesky. Actually, you can see that there is actually a body block happening as well. And it's very likely that 3DB is going to get a single villager kill. Not really, actually, very fortunate. This is very, very close actually to getting that kill, 2 HP off, but he decides against going for it because I do think he decides to prioritize those deer, right, which is obviously a very correct call. On the other side of the map, he is also going for like all-in wood gathering operation. We might actually see a second dock being built relatively soon, I guess. By the way, he was actually supply blocked for a while, but I'm not sure this actually did contribute too much. He's also going for this wooden fortress, which is actually going to bolster the drop-offs for wood on his infrastructure. So the TC and that lumber camp will have extra drop-offs for the units within the radius of... So, okay, if they are within the radius of this tower. So, as you can see, this is like 20% extra wood. Obviously quite huge actually for the Rus on the water. You have to remember, by the way, if you are on the water as Rus, you can also transform these ships into other military units. So you can basically build demolition ships, you can build anything really out of these fishing boats. So you're quite versatile in comparison to your opponents. So those attack ships can be just kind of very quickly transformed here, which is pretty damn cool overall. I think that's a very neat mechanic. Now, obviously, we see a second dock being also dropped by 3DB. Marine Lord, on the other hand, he's actually going with a singular dock still, and he's probably not going to expand too much out of this. For now, I think HRE has enough production to just kind of sustain a single dock. I don't really think he needs way more than this. So I think he's going to have, like, since the economy is so strong with what I assume is going to be the Aachen Chapel, and it is, he's going to get like basically this huge aura around his base, which is going to buff his gathering rates all around if there is a prelate garrison that they're in. And I'm pretty certain he's just going to do this. 3 dB hits Feudal the same moment as Marine Lord pretty much. 10-second delay is not much, but he doesn't quite move this prelate immediately. He does it right now, though. And you can see that he's just going to keep producing villagers because he doesn't need a second prelate anymore. So that's the deal here. He just has this Aachen Chapel over here, buffing all the units in the radius. You can see that there is basically this kind of nice aura on all the villagers, which means that they are gathering at a way faster rate. The problem, of course, is that there is not much to be gathered anymore for Marine Lord over here. He ran out of sheep quite quickly, to be honest. And he's just going to need to have something else done right now. What I actually saw a lot of the HRE players do, is actually that they go for a very quick mill into professional scouts, which means that you can basically carry all the game, all those animals, all the carcasses, all the way to your base and just use them like that. There's also some like small encounter over here on the water. There is a galley for the HRE fighting the Lodi attack ship for the Rus. There is not much really to be said here. They're just going to exchange a few shots and very likely disengage right after that. We see 2 Lodia ships actually, so that's kind of going to be maybe a minor problem for our HRE player, because like once this ship is actually killed, reproducing that is going to be quite an issue. You can also see that the Rus actually do convert those ships into extra attack ships, right? So this means that the Rus has quite a large force, and 3DB is actually going to completely take over the water battles right now, having all those 6 warships right now, 6 attack ships ready and operational. You can see, however, that there is very little actually on the side of Marine Lord on the water. He might have actually decided to, you know, just completely deprioritize this. He does actually send a few of his fishing boats up to towards the north, and he's just going to try to salvage them, maybe hide them in those I know. That's just basically a field that gives you invisibility, right? So you can fly, can move your boat into it. And the seaweed will, I guess that's seaweed, right? It's just going to make your ships invisible, so you can basically just hide your units. The same way you can do this in League of Legends when you move your character into the brush, right? That's basically the same mechanic over here. And also these tall grasses over here are also going to provide concealment to your units, so that's kind of cool. You can see that there's basically like full water control given to 3DB. This obviously comes at a cost, because obviously transforming the ships costs some money. Building extra attack ships does also cost some resources. It's not free anyhow. You can see those Lodia fishing boats. Actually, it takes 70 wood and 60 gold to make this swap. So actually having these boats over here right now, they're not fishing, they're not gathering, they're just basically occupying the population limit, and they're obviously quite expensive to build. So I do not believe this is that big of a deal for Marine Lord. I think he was kind of ready to relinquish water control. I'm actually surprised he did go for that overall, but you can see him actually just completely pivoting into fast castle right now with the Regnus Cathedral. What you would expect from an HRE player is that they should have some units on the map already, which is totally not the case, by the way. So there are actually no extra monks, no extra prelates walking around the map right now gathering those relics. So I do think Marine Lord is actually quite off on the macro side, because the optimal play here is absolutely going for that very quick, you know, I guess like triple prelate even. Just send those prelates around the map, just kind of pick up all the relics, because Regnus Cathedral gives you 300% extra gold generation, or 200%, which means you just get insane bonus, honestly, for having those relics garrisoned in it. So obviously getting all of them from the map immediately is going to be a very large profit. And the thing is, like, if your opponent doesn't expect you to go to castle so quickly, you can just sneak those relics out of the map completely without being noticed. But right now I do believe that 3DB is aware of what his opponent has planned, and he might just have some units kind of going to intercept those prelates who are moving right now around the map, trying to gather some extra resource income sources. That's quite big, actually. Having that extra income is quite huge. Obviously, I do not think there is a way for 3DB right now to threaten his opponent. This is because Marine Lord isn't cast, he has some knights. He's going to have a decent way of escorting those units around. So I do not believe there is a way for this prelate to be killed off unless, Marine Lord just completely drops the ball. This being said, however, you can see that there is actually an attempt to steal the boar by 3DB, so you might just kind of go for this boar over here. You cannot move the carcass as far as I remember, right? So it's not going to be that easy. But apparently he's just going to try to kind of get this on the leash, kill it off with those ships. And I'm not really sure what the follow-up plan here is, to be honest, but yeah. We really should see in a few seconds, I guess. He loses a scout for it, which is not optimal because he does have the professional scout, so obviously the ability to pick up the carcasses is not going to be there. But it's a dead boar. I'm not really sure. I mean, what it does actually is that it means that you cannot really take this boar anymore if you are Marine Lord. The reason for that being that you obviously will be very close to the water and the range of the ships, of course, as well. So the player who does have water control seems to be able to control quite a bit of the game overall. You can see that obviously 3DB did spread his ships around, so there's probably no way for his opponent to build a dock at this point. You'd have to be super sneaky. I guess here, he might not have the vision here, right? So let's just very quickly say... yeah, wait, that's actually wrong. Yeah, there is no vision over here. So there are like some places where 3DB just doesn't see his opponent, but generally speaking, it is not going to cut it quite too much. So I do not think there's a way for Marine Lord to actually sneak a dock out. What Marine Lord is doing though is actually walling up right now, which I do think is a good strategy. And there is also this... Oh, that's so unfortunate, man. He did such a stupid thing. Because not only does he lose the prelate right now, but he also drops off this relic at the range of those attack ships. That's super bad. This is because he did not have a gate over here. And this means that this relic is very likely to be just completely forfeit right now. I do not believe there is a way for Marine Lord to just kind of salvage this. Like, he'd have to walk up with several prelates right now to even get on top of things. There are also some early knights over here, so actually sneaking up for that relic is going to be quite a difficult proposal for our French player who is playing the HRE. And obviously keeping control on the water right now, since the relic is over here, is going to have paramount importance, or is going to be of paramount importance overall for our Rus players. So since he's able to just kind of completely control the map, he will have a lot of possibilities. We see actually that's insanity. Look at this. So Marine Lord just decides to go for a very fast Imperial. I do not understand how exactly 3DB can be so behind on this. Like, he should definitely be trying to scout. He has full water control. You can just walk into the opponent's base right now and see what is up, because this is going to be very easy to catch up for Marine Lord. He's just going for casual 13 minutes Imperial timing. And obviously Palace of Swabia, shit, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, produces villages at basically like triple rate, and also I think at a reduced cost. So those are basically 3 villages just coming out of this building without any limits. And it means that, like once he hits Imperial here, it's going to be really, really hard to just match his economy overall. You can see those knights actually coming out. There are just 2 regular knights over here. Fed is on the way. But the problem is that there is nothing that, 3DB can do actually to harass this, I believe, right? Obviously, there is no way to fortify this position over here. That's not going to happen. But Marine Lord, he reaches Imperial Age, and there is very little response from 3DB. He's so far behind on the call over. He's never gonna age up to Imperial at this point in this game even, because he's really far behind. Look at this. He needs about like 1,000 gold and 1,000 food, and Marine Lord is getting the tech going, I guess, right? We can probably try checking this, but I would assume, yeah, he has. Look at this. He has the elite knights upgraded, right? That's wrong. That's 3DB actually. So Marine Lord is going to go for hardened spearmen. He's probably just going to go for elite knights once the gold allows him to do this, and he's just gonna have like a field day over here. You can just get really strong infantry with HRE as well. So I don't really understand what happened here, like why 3DB was so far behind, or has been so far behind throughout the game. Another thing that HRE can do very nicely is that they do not really need to have any villagers on gold. So you have like 600 gold income per minute from what is this double relic in Regnitz, yeah. And you're still getting so much gold, man. There's actually a small kind of aggressive move right now from the Rus with those actual regular knights here. But you know, like once the elite upgrade hits, I think, or once you can get enough spearmen as Marine Lord, it's going to be extremely dodgy. Hello there, Shepherd, by the way. Nice to have you. Is the stream quality good, guys? Are you enjoying yourselves? So anyhow, the recent changes to spears, to the pikemen, to spearmen actually, increase the damage that they do to cavalry by another 0.5 factor, right? So they had, I think they had 16 bonus damage, now they have 20 versus cavalry. This is basically like the extra bonus that is going to come through. Thank you, Shepherd, thank you. Thank you for coming around then. So basically the idea here is that you can just go up to veteran elite spears very quickly and there will be just shredding cavalry, right? Which is absolute insanity right now, because I think they should be eventually like a good match, especially to those regular knights, because those are not elite knights at all. 3DB is actually going up to Imperial right now. So I think he was basically forced not to get too many relics here either. I'm not sure which landmark he chose. Yeah, he had to go for High Trade House because he had no access to relics anymore. I mean, there is one here. There is another one here actually. What do you mean stream is black? It's impossible. No, stream is good. What the hell? It's looking good. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why you see it black. I think it's good. It looks fine on my side. So we see a small... Oh, jeez. We missed a big fight, actually. So it is actually 3DB catching all the Knights of Marine Lords. So that's a kind of trouble, actually. Because he is going to have to fight that back right now. He's going to have a small disadvantage in terms of unit numbers. We see those veteran spearmen actually getting upgraded probably to elite very, very soon, I would wager. Not really, though, not yet. And there is a large number of knights, actually. This might be overwhelming number of knights, to be honest, from 3DB. So he goes for a very strange timing attack before getting Imperial himself. And obviously this is a nice opening because there is nothing in the base of Marilord to prevent this from going down. And he just gives up. Oh god! That's ridiculous. Look at this. He just gave up completely. He just gave up completely, man. Like on my side, it's fine. I'm just checking on Twitch right now. It seems to be okay. That's very weird. It shows offline right now. Actually, what the fuck? It's weird. Because it says I'm live, but apparently there is no stream being transmitted actually on Twitch. The YouTube seems to be okay. Like I have like the live panel here. YouTube seems to be fine, man. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's streaming for sure because I can see it. I'm not sure what's happening with Twitch though. Okay, thank you. See you. So Twitch just went down for some reason. What the fuck? Because YouTube is fine, guys. You guys are on YouTube and it's looking fine, right? It was the problem with Twitch. That's quite weird, to be honest. Because YouTube is okay, actually. YouTube is doing very hot. So Marino just kind of completely drops the ball and loses the game, and that's weird. I think he went into another match right away as well, so we'll just kind of go into... That's Chinese versus Chinese right now, so we're just gonna go... I think it's interesting to see. I think they might be playing in a tournament of sorts, by the way. It seems to be like a best of 3 or something. But it's not official, I think. No, I think he's just good. He's just doing practice sessions, man. He's just doing practice sessions. Yeah, Twitch is weird, though. Twitch is weird right now. Because it's actually not streaming for me at all. So we have to wait. I need to fix my Twitch, guys. Is the YouTube stream okay? That's my question right now. Is actually YouTube stream fine in terms of quality? Because it should be fine. I'm not sure what exactly happened on Twitch though. to be entirely honest with you. YouTube is fine. Not sure what the hell is wrong with my Twitch stream, to be honest, because the FPS should be very high and it looks good on YouTube. I'm not sure what exactly went down on Twitch though. I'm going to re-enable this. I think that's maybe the trick. That should be fine. So I did re-enable the stream on Twitch. I think maybe just Restream being quite wonky, to be honest. It might just be Twitch being wonky right now. I'm not sure. Because it is supposedly streaming properly. It seems to be. I just don't know what's happening with Twitch right now, to be frank. I'm not gonna stop the stream because it just doesn't make any sense. Since YouTube is working fine. But yeah. I think it might be Restream just being weird, so. Anyway, I think we're ready to go into the game, so I think we have to say screw Twitch for a while. Because it's supposed to be working fine. Guys, we're into the next matchup right now. It's going to be Marine Lord in the south, playing the Chinese. In the blue, actually. No, I'm wrong. Both of them are playing the Chinese. So, in the south, in the blue, it is 3DB playing the Chinese, actually. And he's gonna go for a very quick mill. He was lucky to spawn with those deer, so he's just going to, I guess, just go and capitalize on this very fortunate spawn. Marine Lord in the north, just doing exactly the same thing, actually just kind of going for very quick deer. Like I think for both players, AoE 4 maps have been fixed, I guess, to a large extent. So when you have a spawn happening at all, it will always be near to the actual nice food sources, right? Which is actually the case over here. We can see all those villagers actually gathering the food from the deer, because it's just very, very efficient for all civilizations to do this. The map is Hill and Dale, by the way, which means that this is going to be a relatively long game once again. We can see that those entrances to the base of Marine Lord are very easy to wall off. The same obviously goes for his opponents. The shape of this map is very different to what I'm used to seeing. Like, there usually is no this kind of weird artificial bay over here. I have not really seen this before. So I've not seen this this kind of weird shoe-like thingy over here, which should be I'm not really used to this. But the problem, I mean, the fact stands, you can still wall off very nicely over here, just kind of getting the wall through the grass over here, connecting those hills. And this means that it's very difficult to actually just siege on you. I'm not saying it's impossible, because the timing attacks actually work very well on this map, because your opponent tries to macro very hard, quite frequently. So if you just go for some sneaky Castle Age ramp push with a decent production, of the back of 2 base, while your opponent is still trying to kind of scramble towards Imperial Age, I think your chances for success are actually quite high. So I've seen actually this happen quite a bit. I do this very often if I play the Abbasid, because they have very good pushes. I do believe the Mongols will also be very strong in this regard. So I'm very interested to see what exactly those two players are gonna do here. you can see actually the Chinese of 3DB going for wood here, 4 villages on the wood right away, and it is actually matched by Marine Lord as well. So you can see this is like heavy eco focus right now. Obviously there's no fishing on this map. What these guys are doing actually, since the officials are now very good at gathering the gold taxes, because they can gather every 15 seconds rather than every 30 seconds, the Chinese have very decent gold income right now, which means that you can basically just use this tax mechanic to get a lot of money for free, and this basically means that over the course of about... crap, let me do the math. I guess it's going to be... what, 75 seconds? I guess you can get enough gold to age up, so you don't need extra gold, because the Imperial official alone, by taxing that building every now and then, will gather enough money for you to just age up. Like, that's basically like Rus. You do not really need any extra stuff. You just need to have that extra gold from the buildings gathered, and that's enough for you to age up very, very nicely. You can see actually him moving over here right now. Another function of the officials, of course, is to bolster the drop-off rate. So if you are keeping an official on a building, they will increase the drop-off rates of the villagers who are coming to those buildings. So that's kind of nice as well, having that going for yourself, of course. You can see that, first of all, 3DB is about to age up, and Marine Lord probably just gonna do the same. They are not spending too much on those age ups, as you can see. You might actually see a very different approach as well. I would expect it to be the case that both players might actually go for a more... okay, no, that's a defensive construction. So they're going for the Barbican of the Sun. So they're not going to go for the extra taxes, right? Because the other landmark of the Chinese does support, you know, just better tax generation and also better tax overall. Like, you can just carry more taxes with those imperial officials. So this would probably mean that right now, those changes where they can actually gather quite often, they will be a very good backbone to the Chinese economy, I would wager, right? So it's interesting to see that this is not actually the play here. Over here, this is actually going to be the play for 3DB though. So 3DB is going to go for the Imperial Academy, which, as I said, is going to bolster the tax generation of the structures around, which is going to involve both the mining camp right now and the mill, which both generate gold because they're drop-off buildings. Of course, all production buildings will also be generating gold. So if you have like barracks and if you have archery ranges, as you're producing units through those structures, you will also be generating some extra tax money, which is obviously quite good because it's just free money returned for every single unit you build, and that's just, you know, free money in a way. Free gold is always very much welcome. It does amount to quite substantial amounts if you can get this Imperial Examinations upgrade as well, which means a single official can pretty much handle most of your production and economy at this point, since there is no cooldown on that collection rate anymore. So that's quite good. We can actually see that there's going to be a very quick pivot into scouts right now from 3DB. So it goes with the official basically tripling the production speed on this table. And in the north, you can see there basically are no units being produced at all for Marine Lord. She's just going to go for full economy. Obviously, both players getting stone. Actually, no. 3DB is not going for stone at all. So just kind of a tell that he might be doing something sketchy here on the map. So we can see those two scouts. I guess he's just going to go for professional scouts very quickly. He actually has already researched that. So what he'll do is like the kind of the classical Rus play, I guess, where you just kind of get this upgrade, which allows your villagers to carry the carcasses. And you can just pick up all those deer from the map, carry them back to your base, and obviously, since this is going to be a building that is getting bolstered production, bolstered drop-offs, and the deer gather very, very fast, you'll have very nice economy going from there. Like, obviously, you can just clear up a lot of the hunts around the map, bring all those carcasses back home, and you can even steal from your opponent. This is exactly what he's doing. Actually, he's just going to go with those scouts. He's going to try to deny as much deer or as many deer as he can. And that's very, very decent overall. So he's going to, not only is he going to, you know, get a very nice economy going for himself, he's also very likely to just deny his opponent's economy at this rate. So he actually steals all the deer, in fact. Marine Lord has to be very frustrated about this because I do not believe he could have anticipated this happening right now, which is very tricky. So it's actually a lot of denied economy here. And he's actually stealing the sheep carcasses as well, isn't he? Because those are not deer anymore, he's actually stealing the sheep. So every single animal that is killed off is just going to be stolen call it ruthlessly. Look at this. That's such a scumbag move. So all those deer are just gonna get completely denied by FreeDB. He has like basically this train of scouts moving across the map, just kind of pillaging every single piece of land. And this is going to be very frustrating because obviously they cannot steal the berry bushes, but this is going to force Marine Lord to go into the suboptimal farming very quickly, I would wager, right? Because he has not walled properly. I think if you were to just wall this properly from the get-go, this would have not happened. Since there is a Barbican here, you only probably need to wall off this segment over here in the north and this one in the west. This is not done at all. You can see actually that Marine Lord is going to move out to the map with those villagers. Very desperate, I think, to just do something at all. Or anything, really. He's going to go for a second TC here, and he's going to just try to exploit this hunt to the, to the largest possible extent. Of course, this means that the scouts will be unlikely to move into the range of this, because the TCs with villagers garrisoned especially will be doing a lot of damage. So I do not think this is going to continue anymore from our blue player, but at the same time I think it is going to be quite a decent situation for B, of course, him having stolen a lot of the potential food, which means he doesn't have to really spend any wood to build farms for a while. He's just gonna go up to Song Dynasty as well with this Barbican of the Sun of his own, which means he's gonna get extra villager production, and obviously this should mean that he can take over in terms of villager count. Of course, Marine Lord did go for the second TC. We do not have a second TC for our Chinese player in the blue, which is going to be very likely a decent advantage for Marine Lord altogether. The problem, of course, is that with Song Dynasty, you can catch up to that production to some extent, and second of all, if you have double TC, okay, this is actually so crazy. Look at this. He's actually stealing all those deer anyway. He's just completely ignoring all that kind of TC fire. He might lose a scout for it. I don't think he cares too much, though. He's actually gonna deny all that. Look, he lost 2 scouts for this, but he denies so much potential food. It's gonna be super frustrating for his opponent, I would wager. Like, Marine Lord can't be happy about this. There's like no way you can be enjoying yourself if you are Marine Lord right now. Because you look at this, look at how much economy he has already lost. He even just built this TC outside of his main base at a very, very bad position, let's face it. This is terrible for him, because every single kind of aggressive move right now from FreeDB can just pick at this TC and probably just take it down. So if FreeDB does move up to the next age, it's going to be very annoying to deal with the aggression with the Knights and the Rams potentially, right? So the Ram Ranch is a real threat. The reality for Marine Lord, though, is not only does he have Song Dynasty, actually he also has the 3rd TC in his base. So it's not that bad, because having 3 TCs actually means that it's going to be relatively difficult for the opponent to actually harass his economy in any way or form. Just having, this is extra production of villagers out of 3 TCs. So even if you lose 1 at this point, I don't think that's much harm, to be honest, at all. I guess, obviously 2 TC build from FreeDB right now. We'll see how exactly this pans out. Right? You have 2 TCs constructed here, and we should see whether there's going to be like some sort of a catch-up later with the 3rd TC dropped by FreeDB at this point. There's a Barbican of the Sun as well here, of course, just kind of guarding the entrance quite nicely. I think I would have preferred to see it here. But if it's over here, it's also going to mean that, any units approaching this hunt over here, this kind of artificially dropped hunt, are also going to profit or generate profit for FreeDB, right? Because you can just move villagers out of the way, garrison them into this fortress, and they'll be pretty freaking safe, which obviously is quite good as well. Right, so generally speaking, you see this kind of funnel of villagers going towards those berries as well. So the mill is going to be dropped. There's going to be this is a very slow economical game. I'm not sure who pulls the trigger first. I would wager that, Marine Lord having better economy right now, despite having lost all that food income. I think he's just going to play safe. He also was off those entrances to his base. It's impossible for FreeDB just kind of go in unnoticed. This being said, yeah, I guess he might, FreeDB, since he's not walling, he might just go for some sort of Imperial timing. Sorry, maybe Castle timing. He's gonna drop the Clock Tower, I guess, which is going to be this kind of nice artillery production building for the Chinese. And this might lead us to a relatively quick aggressive play from the blue players overall. So the blue player is actually going to go towards H3 very quickly. You can see 7, 8 villagers constructing this 8 actually. Marine Lord is going to follow, by the way, so he has enough resources to age up himself. But the thing is, like, being slightly behind even in this regard, and also producing villagers from 3 TCs might be an issue. This being said, with like 78 villagers from Marine Lord and about like 56, actually it's crazy of a difference, this is huge for 3DB, and 3DB is actually not using all the villagers either, so those 2 TCs actually, in comparison to 3, they're just kind of bleak in comparison. And Marine Lord is working with something that, you know, seems to be a late game villager count already. So he's approaching the 120 rather quickly. He should be there within like the next 2-3 minutes if he's allowed to do this. So honestly, that's kind of sketchy. I'm not really sure why 3DB is so far behind. Like, he was just very anxious, I guess, to go up to 3rd TC. We see he's actually going for this military upgrade, so he does have the blacksmith. You'd expect that to be, you know, basically the same deal for Marine Lord though. So let me see very quickly. No, there is no tech actually for ML. He has nothing. He has no tech at all in comparison to 3DB, who is actually sitting on double blacksmith. So we might see that there is going to be some sort of aggression coming very quickly from this blue Chinese player. We see he's actually researching the armor against the melee units. He's also getting the production speed for the military buildings, right? So this kind of is a hint that once you can get those upgrades going, once you get probably also the siege engineering, which means that your units can produce the siege engines in the field, it is going to be some sort of an aggressive play coming in. You see there are also palace guards already being produced in large quantities by 3DB, which is again quite highly indicative of the fact that we might see some sort of aggressive play very, very soon from our blue player. He's also massing barracks right now. You can see 5 barracks right now. This is scouted, by the way, by his opponents. The Marine Lord knows what's up. He's kind of going to prepare, I guess, on his own. He's dropping double. I don't think that's the correct response, though, because double blacksmith, like, it's long overdue. You need to have some sort of military production. We see 3 stables, actually, from Marine Lord. You know, it's not enough, I think. There's Astronomical Clock Tower. There is going to be a stable and 5 barracks for 3DB. This just doesn't seem to compare quite well to 3 stables and the clock tower of Marine Lords. He's not producing any artillery. He has this Imperial official here standing still, actually not doing much. He's just kind of trying to buff the production rate. But honestly, there's nothing being, you know, just produced out of those buildings for now. And there is no military. There's like literally no military from Marine Lord. Like, there are a few knights and that's it, right? That's not looking too hot. Whereas 3DB is sitting on 12 guards, and Springald for now is obviously producing more. You'd expect those officials to shift their focus to the clock tower right now so that you can bolster your Springald production. You probably will say you'll see some extra. No, there is still no siege engineering actually, so it's just going to be, I think it's going to be light harassment for now. Obviously there's small siege being laid over here at the bottom of the map. As I said, this TC probably going to go down, but I think he's produced so many villages already that Marine Lord is maybe not comfortable losing this, but he's okay. He's not gonna die to, you know, losing a single base right now. It's the 3rd anyway, and his opponent has never had a 3rd, so it has already just kind of caught him up quite neatly. I think it's not a bad situation at all. So obviously, not a big deal to our player in the red. Now we see there's also Relic being picked up by 3DB, so he's actually managing the economy quite well. I would expect some sort of siege engines coming out very soon, by the way, from this clock tower. Nothing's being produced though. He actually pulls out the official as well. I do think this is going to be the end of the aggression, honestly. There are some knights actually coming through to harass. It's just 5 or 6 of those though, so I do not think they're posing if they do pose a big threat. Those 5 lancers, they're not going to do much damage. 6 actually. Especially with you know, 3 Springalds over here, of course. 4 right now, that's that additional one coming over from the west. And those knights are actually just forced to leave. So that's actually looking like a very nice hold from our blue player, and that's actually a very large count of those palace guards, right? You can see also there is some tech, actually siege engineering started, so you can actually say that this might actually very quickly transition into a very, very aggressive play. And those infantry numbers are almost overwhelming at this point, right? You can see how much damage those Springalds do. They almost one-shot a knight, like, with a single volley, which is really scary, because if you have one more of those, actually, it will indeed be a one-shot. You can see those Palace Guard just kind of putting the pressure on the gate, and even though there is no siege ramp here, I think they're just gonna break through. Now the question is, how much exactly can the blue player, can 3DB do here with this advantage? Obviously going into the base of his opponent, those siege ramps is not going to probably result into too much of an advantage, but just kind of forcing a fight is not a bad idea, I guess. It's not looking too terrible. I think it's not that bad of a not that bad of a situation. You obviously see there's like so many of those spears, so many of those Palace Guards putting the pressure, and they might actually be able to deal with that defensive structure, right? So it might actually end up being the Barbican of the Sun going down at some point just to those MAAs, or to those equivalents of the MA from the Chinese. And those knights, I do not think they have good enough of a handle over here to just kind of leverage some sort of pressure. So it looks like Marinelord is actually getting caught with his pants down once again. He doesn't have that much military. He's getting massacred here by those MAAs, or by those Palace Guards actually. There are some crossbows coming to support. They actually have bonus damage to heavy right now, so that's quite a decent bonus, so they should kind of dispose of those of that infantry quite nicely. And it looks like actually does look like a whole very expensive attack from 3DB is going to eventually be repelled completely. And since there is nothing really to deal those crossbows right now, I think you want to have some sort of either horsemen or archers actually to be efficiently trading against the crossbows right now. This might mean that those units just have to back off and wait, right? It's looking like that is indeed going to be the case here for our Chinese blue players. Like, this is gonna get repaired completely. There are no siege rounds being produced still, even though he has the possibility to do this. Now, obviously 3DB is using that opportunity to seize control over the map, so he's getting the relics. You can see he sneaks on over here as well, right from underneath Hero Marine's nose. Sorry, Marinelord nose. And this is going to mean that, even though Marinelord probably holds this, obviously the number of the Springles here is quite scary. It looks like a hold though. Those villagers are probably going to have enough pressure to get rid of the Springles. And obviously the crossbows do enough damage to Springles as well to just repel the attacks. But at the same time, this is a lot of kind of wasted map control. And obviously this sacred site being taken, probably a second sacred site also coming under the hammer very quickly, is going to mean that this is not going to be a very easy game to recover for our red Chinese player right now. So Marinelord in trouble, seemingly anyway. There's no infantry left from, there's no cavalry left from either. So he's producing some extra knights. He's just going to probably rally them to some point on the map. But this is another big fight breaking out. Actually, there are some villagers coming to help. Obviously, villagers doing a lot of damage to the siege means that that's 20 damage to every single siege, and you can have a lot of villagers as the Chinese, of course. So he's able to leverage that. He probably will ditch a few villagers, but trading them for Springles at this point, when there's when their numbers are so high, is kind of okay. The problem, of course, is that there are so many of those Springles right now. Even if he's trading quite nicely, he just needs to pull more villagers. I think he needed to pull like twice the number right now, because he's just getting absolutely outnumbered here. He has no food left. I'm really surprised he's not making any Springles of his own. That's very late to react to make his own anti-artillery. And this, even though this seems to be a hold, he does lose a lot here, right? So there is 97 eco and 75 military for 3DB, and there is basically 120 eco, but just 28 military. So obviously, as I said, Marinelord very much okay with throwing away some villagers. What he's not okay with, though, is the fact that he is going to get pressured. He's really contained in his walls, and it's going to take a minor miracle right now for this to be resolved easily. Look at the number of Springles here. The 3DB is insane. 21. Oh jeez, how do you deal with this at this point? How do you deal with 21 Springles of your opponent? Especially that he has like unlimited access to gold right now. He has so much income. Like, he can just afford to keep producing that. He just needs some wood. He just needs some extra upgrades on those lumber. He has all the upgrades actually. He's just gonna be okay sieging with this. I think he can just just kind of do this infinitely. You can just keep producing Springles. There is no response for your opponent. I do not believe that there is anything that 3DB can do right now to actually repel this attack, because this is basically lots of aggression here. And I don't see how exactly you can deal with that sort of aggression if you are playing, the red, right? I'm not sure how exactly you're supposed to, we have to obliterate those Springles somehow. I don't think this is possible at this point. Obviously, those villagers getting pulled right now. There's a lot of infantry, you know, crossbows coming through. Crossbows actually do quite nicely against those siege engines as well. So it's not terrible, honestly. But this is just very sketchy. Look at how many Springles there are. Actually, this also means that you cannot garrison those units comfortably anymore, because obviously you are in the middle of the map. So he gets, like, Marinelord gets lured into this trap. He loses a lot of his units. He loses a lot on the retreat as well. And those crossbows, though they're strong, they're not going to be the right answer against so many Springles. So I do feel like basically what is the problem as well is there's a sacred, you know, there are 2 sacred sites right now being captured. And this actually entails that, you know, there is a timer on this game. I'm not really sure. It's probably going to be like around 8 minutes now, maybe 9. And if Marinelord cannot leave his base by that moment, he's completely dead, because there is no way he can just, you know, go out and just uncapture this. I mean, admittedly, I think with the distribution of the army from his opponent, you can probably just delete one of those segments of Palisade, just sneak a few knights out, you know, take down whatever is guarding this position, and just be happy about it, I guess, right? Oh, there's one sacred site more, actually. It's a very weird map. I did notice the third sacred site, so he actually still has to capture the third one, so we are not on the timer yet, which is kind of okay, I guess. But this is really, really nasty. Look at this. There are like 20 Springles here, 20, actually just 16. So those crossbows actually are almost one-shotting Springles, it seems. But they're really not rating that favorably against the infantry. So there's a large attack over here, and this is not going to last, I think. You cannot just kind of continue defending like this against also nests of bees, because those are going to do a lot of AoE damage to your units, and they're eventually going to obliterate those crossbows. And here we go. Marinelord just realizing that, you know, the position he put himself in, he just taps out, he gives up. There is no way in hell that he can actually win this game at all. I think he just never produced artillery of his own. And even though he had a decent defensive position, obviously Hill and Dale being a very nice defensive map, he was just never really there. He had very good economy in terms of military, though. He had decent army count, but he was just not producing enough, you know, units capable of dealing with those heavy artillery units of his opponent. I think honestly that, you know, horsemen are good against this, right? Because horsemen are very cheap, you can produce them very quickly, and losing them is not a problem. They're basically disposable, right? If you have decent food income. But knights are super slow to produce. They're not that, I mean, they're fast, okay? They're fast, they're obviously cav. But it seems like it's just not enough, right? Marinelord just didn't have enough there. He had very nice kind of villager count up until the very end. He had decent military as well, but he just had nothing, no responses available against the Springles. And that mass Springle is actually something that will kill a lot of players, right? This is just something that can be very surprising, to be honest. Let's go into another. Aren't you guys curious what exactly he's gonna do now? So we'll see, and I guess it's gonna be another practice round. And it's gonna be Chinese versus Mongols, actually. 2 minutes 20 is actually quite decent as well in terms of time. So you have enough time to maybe mess with the streaming settings, because I'm surprised it's still not working, even though I did actually change things quite a bit for Twitch. It's supposed to be working. I'm not sure why it's not. Because I streamed to Twitch today when I was testing, it was fine, so I'm really kind of baffled by the fact it's not kind of operational right now on Twitch at all. That's very weird, to be honest. Not sure what exactly went wrong. Game should be starting in a minute, so I have some time to just check it out. Maybe my bitrate is too high. Can actually Twitch disable your stream if your bitrate is too high, in fact? That may be the case, to be honest. I cannot understand any, like, I don't see any other possibilities. Maybe I have like too high bitrate and Twitch is just rejecting it. I would get a notification then, right? That my bitrate, because I did actually stream with this particular bitrate with no problems before. It's weird. It's pretty, actually it's quite nasty, so I don't care that much about the YouTube, the Twitch stream anyway, but it's surprising that it's not working right now. I guess it's got to be the bitrate, which I set up to be too high. Right? That's basically the only thing I can think of at this point. So yeah, that's probably the culprit here. It's just got to be Twitch rejecting my bitrate. I don't understand. I don't see any other logical solutions to this. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. Okay, guys, we're gonna go into the game, and in the south, again playing the Chinese. Actually, is gonna be FreeDB. And he's gonna do the very same thing. It looks like Hill and Dale again, doesn't it? Yeah, it is Hill and Dale indeed. He's just gonna go for this very quick count into the expansion here. That's nothing special, I suppose. In the north, the Marine Lord is gonna go with the Mongols right now, which is a rather aggressive civ. That's surprising to see them picked on this particular map, because obviously Hill and Dale very kind of, you know, enclosed. So having the ability to build walls is going to be immensely useful to you. So not having that access at all is going to mean that there's probably something more aggressive in Marine Lord's mind right now. He's gonna plan on doing something way more out of the box here. I would wager there's gonna be some sort of aggressive move out. Maybe, as I said, those kind of timing attacks from Castle Age that are so prevalent will be used here. I can do a lot of different things with Mongols, of course. Your blacksmith allows you to research this improved siege engineering, which obviously makes it possible for you to produce Spriggles and I think even trebuchets on the field with your infantry. So we see also stable being dropped very quickly here. I think you're just gonna pack, if you are Marine Lord, you're just gonna pack it up, move it over here next to the Uvu, and use that to just leverage some sort of pressure on the map. You can move those, I guess you just mass produce scouts, right? That's probably the idea here. So use that extra stone that Uvu produces to just get a lot of scouts out, and you just move those scouts around the map, just kind of trying to harass your opponent. I don't think you can even deny this, though. I'm kind of surprised he's doing this, because I do not think this is even deniable, because, you know, this structure being right in the range of the TC, it's going to be very difficult to actually just harass those villages with just regular cavalry. But we shall see what exactly our player has in mind here, of course. The Mongols can be quite nasty, even if your opponent is ready for it. So we shall see how exactly that pans out. Oh, that's very nice. Look at this. It's so nicely done, by the way. So what FreeDB does as a response here is actually just recognizes that his opponent is going to be greedy, and he's actually moving around with the sheep. He's denied that in the end, so this scout actually just picks up the sheep and leaves. But this was very nice, kind of, you know, waste of time against Marine Lord's lineup here. Now we have 3 villagers in the queue, and also we have the double scout production. As I said, this is the go-to move for the Mongols. You just double produce a scout and you just kind of get some sort of map control. We've also seen FreeDB do this kind of nice professional scout move out before. I would expect this to be the case again here for this opponent. Right, the graphics are so freaking good, Omna. I am so happy about it. I'm really hyped about that, the stream quality right now. But my Twitch stream is not working, so I might have to reduce the bitrate, I guess. That might be the reason why. Because nothing seems to be fixing Twitch. Anyhow, back to the cast itself, guys. We see that there are actually villagers gathering the wood here for the Chinese. The trick here, of course, is that the Imperial official is fully capable of just gathering resources, the gold from buildings, so you do not really need to have any extra gold income in Dark Age to castle. So to go up to, even to castle, I guess, if you're playing this kind of longer game. I don't think this is going to be a longer game, though, because you can see, you know, FreeDB definitely gearing for some aggressive play over here. He only went with 2 extra scouts for now, so it's not really excessive in any way. I do believe it's going to kind of result in a more aggressive play later on down the line. It seems to be the case anyway, that this is going to be the play. By the way, Twitch is up now, so Twitch is working, guys. So if you prefer Twitch, you can go to Twitch. But I do believe that the image quality on YouTube is just far superior. It is just way better, so it should be fine on both platforms. But I would say, yeah, Twitch is going to be... I would wager Twitch is going to be slightly lower quality than YouTube. That's what I see on my screen anyway. Because Twitch is like, basically what you see on Twitch is a little bit fuzzy. What you see on YouTube is actually just super sharp, so there's a difference. So keep watching on YouTube, guys. Keep watching on YouTube, of course. Plus I monetize on YouTube, so yeah. Income, right? Streaming to 10 people, of course, is huge income. Now, obviously, I'm kidding. This being said, guys, we see actually this is the thing I was so criticized for, guys, because when I started playing AoE 4 on stream, people were like, "Oh my god, you're such a noob, you're going for deer stones, you idiot." Like, that's what people were saying to me, seriously. And every single professional player, other than Beastie Cutie in some of his games, is going for those deer stones. I'm exaggerating, of course, but this is a very, very common build. Just going for deer stones, and you know, from there, you just go towards this kind of high mobility of your army around your base. You can defend very nicely. You can also move the deer stones if you really want to the front line, just kind of to, you know, allow your infantry and your cav to engage a little bit better. Which means that obviously it's just going to give you some nice benefits. You can just always build an outpost as well, just, you know, keep that expensive landmark at home. It's also going to work very likely to. Anyhow, and you can see there's like some small amount of pressure being exerted on that gold deposit here. Obviously Chinese, as I've already established, they do not care about gold too much, so it's not really big of a loss. And yeah, it's looking like a very decent setup for our Mongol player so far. He's actually denying that gold access here. He's getting matched by the scout numbers here as well. We'll see whether the professional scouts are actually already here. So there's going to be quite a nice hassle over here between the Mongols and the Chinese, because both those civs, I believe, want to just kind of get the deer from the map all the way to their bases. So we should see how exactly this pans out, which civilization, which player is actually going to be able to just micro this a little bit better. There's a nice trade actually going in favor of Marine Lord over here. He's going to take down one scout, potentially, not really. Maybe here? No, there's actually not going to be any kill. We're not going to see any kills soon coming down. Actually, there's another kind of set of attacks from the scouts. You can see how clunky that auto attack is for them. That's deliberate, of course. They're just supposed to be slow attackers so that you're not able to just abuse them as offensive units too much. So you can see there's actually a small trade going on, of course, here, but that's not going to amount to much, is it? So we see those scouts actually getting another auto attack here. The trade is going to favor our Mongol player, I guess. No, there's actually... Oh, this is actually a scout going down, right? The probably second one as well. That's kind of bad for Marine Lord in the back end of this fight. And the Chinese scouts actually prevail, and they will be... I guess they will be just looking through the base of the Mongols. And they'll be trying to recover or go for the deer and just kind of get those hands back into the base. There's a single horseman, two horsemen actually being created right now, so they are obviously a good answer to scouts, and they're actually coming from the Chinese side of the pond. So those scouts are going to be able to not only loot those deer, but also, you know, this kind of southern battle over here, this micro battle, is not going to favor our Mongol player at all until those early horsemen come into play. You might want to upgrade them if you do intend to commit to cavalry, but right now it's just going to be, I think, you know, the disengagement from the scouts. And those horsemen, even though they're fast because of Yan Network, I don't think they can catch up to a single... I might be wrong here, but it doesn't seem... Yeah, the buff actually fizzles out, and it's not going to be possible for those units to target any of those scouts anymore. You can obviously use that scout... That's what the bee is doing, actually. Okay, never mind, he's not. You can use those units to body block as well, which is not being done at all. Those horsemen slightly faster than the scout, so they do actually catch up to this scout over here in the south. And I think that's going to be all she wrote. You can see there's actually a small... cavalry chase over here at the bottom as well, with those early horsemen fighting against the regular horsemen of the Chinese. There's a lot of horsemen actually being produced by 3DB. So I'm not sure how many TCs he's working off the back. No, he's only sitting in a single TC right now. So he doesn't have too much actually in terms of villager production. So it's going to be quite a committed aggression actually coming from the blue player, from the Chinese player over here, which is kind of uncommon against the Mongols, who can obviously just double produce units, right? So 3DB is actually, I guess he knows what he's doing to some extent, so he's just kind of getting a nice setup where he's actually getting a number of those horsemen here set up to fight, and this is looking like a very decent exchange for Marine Lord. Now the problem with the scouts is that they can regenerate health, right? They're basically like the French knights. Every single scout in the game can just regenerate health over time, so as long as you can just micro them nicely and you do not lose them too frequently, you're not taking bad trades necessarily. The problem is that the pressure keeps mounting. There are more horsemen coming through the map, and there are obviously, like, I guess 2 stables even. Right now, there's just a single stable for 3DB, and for Marine Lord we see a stable and barracks. So we'll see some spearmen coming out relatively soon, I would wager. That's going to be probably the play. That's what I would like to see. And also this exposed kind of a berry patrol who's going to be attacked, I guess, at some point, unless our Mongol player can defend this, you know, without the need for anything. As he actually just gives up, and out of the 3 games we have been casting so far, that's surprising, but Marine Lord just doesn't win anything. This kind of early Chinese aggression is just super strong, and yeah, the Marine Lord just caught with his pants. Now, I really think he was setting up for like late game play, but he was just not allowed to, and like he was just not allowed to do this at all. He's just dead. He's just freaking dead, man. That's so surprising, but he's just gonna die again. I think he quit as well. We're gonna play some games, guys. We're gonna play some games now. I hope my hotkeys are good, because I did fix them. I did actually set them up properly, but I'm just hoping that I did not forget about something important here. So play some games. I'm relatively high on the ladder, so it should be enjoyable-ish, unless I mess up completely in my matches. But we can lose some elo today, because I have to say, guys, I'm not used to this computer, so yet. I changed my screen, which is obviously the color depth is different, the resolution is obviously bigger. I have 27-inch screen. I'm not used to this, so obviously this might be not that great. I am rank 605 in Europe right now, which is decent. I think it's fine. So we shall see how exactly I can do in my games as well. So we're just gonna swap the screens to gameplay cast, and we'll try to play the game. Here we have a match. Obviously not gonna play English. And I know this guy from somewhere. Okay, French Pass means there's going to be a large map, right? It's kind of potentially going to be a macro game for that reason. So what we do in macro games, we try to break them down, and you can do this by just going with the civ that is capable of just kind of getting early siege deployed on the field. And obviously the larger the map, the better your civ is going to be if they can build siege engines on the battlefield. So we're just going to go with the Abbasid. And this is going to be against Mongols, which I hate so much. Actually, Mongols are crazy. Like, I hate playing against Mongols so freaking much. Unlucky. Let's see how this goes. I have not won too many games against Mongols, to be honest. I won a lot against normal civs, but not against Mongols altogether. Okay. So let's see how this pans out for us. French Pass is peculiar. I think they also changed map seeds quite a bit, so I'm not sure how this is gonna go. We need to go get gold. Where the hell is gold here? It's very far away. I have a sheep over here as well. So in the French Pass map, you actually want to, I think, anyway, that's my play always, you want to just go around the border of the map, because that's where the sheep are going to be. So if you just go around the border, do not enter the pass itself, because there's like this narrow valley between mountains. There is no sheep there, so you just want to go like just kind of circumventing it, right? I think that's the correct approach here. So you just completely skip that. You just kind of get the sheep that are in the border. You might be lucky to get to your opponent's base as well before they scout their kind of side of the map too. So that's what I'm kind of hoping to do here. Of course, we can move the sheep a bit closer as well to make it easier for villagers to gather food here. We have too many villagers, so once you're done, you just have to go for the sheep. And Abbasid, actually, I think you want to be, instead of just going for wood early, you just want to start the age up fast, because it doesn't matter at which order you collect resources, but it does actually matter. You see there's more sheep over here, which is perfect for us. 3, that's very good. it does matter as far as the time at which you go up, right? Because you really want to go up sooner than your opponent starts their rage up. So you really have to be very, very tight on the timer here. So that's why you don't go for L, you would. You just... Because I guess at some point you want to expand, right? I don't want to do this too soon. Especially since this is Mongols, right? Because they can be very aggressive even on larger maps. So I would be very careful with just kind of going for, you know, the double TC play, which I might actually do anyway because I'm greedy today. So we shall see how exactly we can handle this. Okay, we have 160. That's important to see. He's actually going for eco opener because he has the villagers. He's not producing army right now, which is great for us, right? It's actually very, very nice for us. So we're gonna go and scout the second side of the map, just kind of around our base right now. It's close to age up right now, isn't it? So we just go for the very quick feudal. Obviously, at this point, you want to shift some villagers out of the foot, gathering just all the way towards the wood and the stone. So we'll keep 3 villagers. I think just 3 villagers on the foot right now. So since we're playing the greedy style here, I hope, since this is a large map, I hope we don't get too punished for this. That's kind of what I'm banking on, to be honest. We're just gonna pass the TC now, and we're going to... Yeah. Those 2 villagers have to stay on gold, by the way. That's because you want to get this upgrade, the fresh foodstuffs, as soon as you can. You need 125 gold for that, so we're just gonna be keeping that intact. We're gonna, you know, just kind of deliver those sheep ASAP as well to the villagers who are here, and we're just going to potentially maybe move those villagers already in towards... He's not going to do enough damage to me here, so it's fine. In towards that stone deposit. Maybe actually no, because he has a scout here, so I don't want him to see this. So what I'm gonna do is actually, he has a scout outside as well, so he did actually steal some of my sheep. I don't want him to see that I'm doing this, so he's gonna see that anyway, so we'll just go. I'm gonna also take the sheep. That's actually very good. Idiot. Thank you for the sheep, mate. That's very generous of you. Look at this. He can't kill villagers, but he's losing all the sheep. So we just basically... He stole our sheep, but we basically just took everything of his. Which is great. Did I lose a villager? No, not really, right? I did not lose a vill even here. Which is really good. So he pushes me off that wood, but I can just go for a tower right now. That's not a big deal again. You can just kind of send a lot of villagers, build a tower, and just secure the stone. That's fine. That's okay. He's not even gonna get this, is he? So this doesn't accomplish much. It was just small distraction, to be honest, altogether. Not much really done to me in terms of actual just damage, right? So he forced a tower. Oh, he also forced me off gold, though. That's kind of annoying. I suppose it's quite frustrating. I could have pulled this tower a little bit to the south, I guess. It's not in range, is it? No. So I may just have to go for pikes. I guess he's denying the gold, which is frustrating because I need it. So I'm just gonna... I guess I have to build another tower right now, which is gonna deny me quite a bit of ground if I don't do this. I have to just kind of go for it, I guess. And I'm also not getting that upgrade on time for that reason. That's kind of annoying. So we have that. I think the base is safe, unless he does something crazy. And I guess you kind of want to actually have some sort of infrastructure in the base anyway, so it's not a big deal, I suppose. We just need to move those villagers en masse to that stone right now, it's fine. Okay, my scout is gonna die here, fuck. Oh, that's not good. I think he's safe, actually. I wanted to see what the... Oh, no, I lose the scout here. So we probably have to remake the scout, to be honest. That's a bit frustrating. And we get the second Tisei. I think we just... I'm just gonna go for it over here. Because this means that he cannot really siege me efficiently, right? Which is great. I'm gonna also get those villagers out over here. I'm gonna get the fresh foodstuffs. I think we have to focus on the eco right now to some extent. So we just have to get this TC going before we continue with anything else. I don't need that many villas on wood, so... We want to age up, I think. We just want to go for an age up relatively quickly. Let's get some wood, because I need to also build the mill over here, actually. It's really important to actually go and see what he's up to, because... yeah. We have enough villagers to last until this upgrade is finished. So, I think we're fine here. We have a lot of villagers on gold, mind you, because we're trying to get the fast castle age up here. Since you went for economy, I think that's fine. Those openings with scouts are so annoying. They're frustrating to deal with. Seriously, they're really obnoxious. So he has basically 2 scouts here. That's nothing. No, he has Mandu guy. Actually, there's a Mandu guy. So you have to go for archery range as well. That's important to notice. So you have to go out and you have to go get those. There's archery, like at least a single archery range. I guess he's also going for trade, as you can say. So since he's kind of economically focused right now, we'll do. We'll go for fast-ish castle. We do need to get some archery ranges, because once we go into castle, obviously, I don't think Springles are enough against Mandugai. Like, they'll be fine, but I do want to have some backbone to my army. But we do want to go to relatively fast castle at this point, right? Okay, losing our scout, but that's fine. He saw what he saw, right? So I guess that's fine as well. And we have lots of sheep here, which is great. Like, he actually donated like 6 or 7 sheep to us, so... nothing ventured, nothing gained, I guess, right? So we did actually venture quite a bit. And we made a small profit here so far. I might actually go for a short wall here as well. Like, no, it's not even short, just big wall. Because it's just gonna stop those frustrating units from coming into my base, which I probably should have going for myself. I do need to get another house very quickly too, once these villagers drop off. And I should have the golden age, but I think I need to link my TC to do this. So we're gonna gear up towards the age up right now. Once this house finishes, we should be gearing up towards the next age, right? So that's the plan anyway. Yeah, he's actually coming in. Shit. Okay, we have to move those villagers to hiding. That's fine. We get like lots of infrastructure here. Yeah. So good luck getting anything done over here. So there's the problem, right? He can't really do much. That's kind of the big headache for him, I'd wager. We go for military wing, and we actually have to move some villagers towards the wood right now because I need a lot of infrastructure. Like during this age up, because it's gonna take a while to age up right now for me. I do need to kind of explode in terms of my production and economy. So I need to get more villagers on gold, more villagers on wood. I need to have like blacksmith going, right? It's a lot of stuff that you need to do if you're trying to at least get a timing attack going, right? So it's really kind of a big effort. You have to concentrate a lot of things at the same time to get something like this to work. So what we're gonna do is obviously that we're just trying to set up enough production to deal with his units there. Here's some Mandu guys. I'm also going to get a single camel archer just to kind of maybe deal with that somehow. And I can also cancel this palisade at this point because he knows about it. There's no reason to actually have it. So since he's gonna go archers, I'm just gonna go with a single It's kind of a good thing to go for at least a singular. Okay, he's here. Okay, we might need more archers actually, since he's kind of committed to the cav archers of his own. We might need some more ranged units to defend this. Return to work, please. And I do need to actually just tie it up quite a bit more. Okay, so I'm repelling that attack. And we're also getting some production going, but I need more wood actually, that's the problem here. Because I need to make knights at this point, right? I need to be making knights, and I need to kind of prepare to make springles later. So as that kind of attack comes to fruition later, I'd love to have some sort of decent-ish military count. So we want to go for extra range protection, I guess, as well. Villager production, of course, is necessary to keep up with what he is doing here. But we need to kind of start producing large numbers of units, just kind of solid, quality military units anyway. That's why we're just going to drop a lot of units on towards that wood, among other things. I think that's going to be the right play. So we have like some archers right now, not many though. We're just gonna start producing here, just kind of gearing towards that attack. You want to have about like 4 or 5 barracks to make that work. So we're just gonna go towards that kind of number. That's kind of on the plans anyway. So he kind of opened aggressively, which is kind of okay because he wasted some resources. So he's not in castle as soon as he should be. I think that's fine for us overall. 10 villagers not doing much, huh? Okay, they ran out of sheep, that's why. So all that we want to bank up some wood actually, because as the game progresses, we will be actually going towards those springles, right? So we want to kind of bank up some wood for the future reference, which means that getting like another barracks right now is a good idea, but not too many, right? We cannot just kind of overinvest in barracks right now. So more barracks, one more, I guess, here. We get this as well. I think that's not a bad idea at all. Just get an okay, some archers, and yeah, I think we can get going soon, right? Just getting those 4 barracks was the key. 5 barracks now, and we'll just go and smash this guy. So we should go right now. I think we should just go. Like we just kind of rally our units across the map. We get like lots of infantry in production. And we'll just go and try to harass that guy now. So it seems like actually we don't have enough archers to go out of the base, and that's the problem right now. So we might actually need an extra archery range on top of things. We obviously can also just build some springles here, which I'm going to do. I'm just going to get some springles. I think that's the best, most efficient way of dealing with the cavalry archers of any sort, right? Just having this artillery to shoot them down. I think that's going to be quite efficient. Obviously getting the range damage as well is a good idea. So, but you have to be careful because they just eat up population like crazy. Having springles, this is just very, very easy way of losing population. So we're just gonna go for a push right now. We'll see what we can get done. Obviously getting the wall off here would be great, right? Because right now I really need to just at least have some sort of safety in my own base. So that's what we're gonna do here. These guys, since they're in the front, they should be able to... okay, we're gonna go for the hunt here as well with these villas, because they did actually empty out this entire berry patch. And we do want to get some extra springles here. Okay, houses, guys. We need houses. Okay, the gold is also kind of exhausted here, so we need to actually go here. That's not good. So yeah, we have a nice flank here, which is perfect. So I actually botched the engagement a little bit, but we have a nice flank going. We can also make crossbows right now, which is fine. He has a surround on me though, shit. And that's not great, is it? Man, where's my fucking food? Where are my units actually? Jesus Christ. I need to move, like, I need to actually recollect my... Oh god, that's why. Ah, they never built anything, seriously. Oh shit. Yeah. I'm getting massacred here, ain't I? Jesus Christ, the Mongols, right? So there's a problem, like, they can just produce so much more than you. I was also kind of... I thought I had a good position in this fight, but I did not, seriously, I totally did not. Jesus, he just had so much more. Yeah, and I'm screwed right now, because I can't even defend this. So I have to take those villagers. I have no gold anymore this way, and that's the problem right now for me. Can make some archers, but man, I just super sorry. Oh, there is gold actually here. Nice. So we can just go for this. We can obviously go for a monastery as well, get that relic from the north. I think that's not a bad idea at all. Yeah. Actually, crossbows should be decent right now as well, so might just kind of end up going for a few crossbows. Why is this villager rallying here as well, man? That's weird. I need to get Springles. I need to get like 2 Springles at least. I thought I had enough actually to repel his attacks, but it was not the case at all. Yeah, the gold deficit is not helping. I just completely forgot I had like a gold deposit over there. Oh no, he actually... Oh god, he has so many Springles. He can just do what I'm doing, right? He can just produce his own Springles there. That's impossible. Like, Mongols are just impossible to win against, man. I obviously screwed up a bit, but he has so much more than me. Every single time. It's just a disgusting civ, man. Seriously. Just so far ahead of the curve, like it's actually ridiculous. Yeah. And Mongols, Jesus Christ. There's no reason to even watch their stats, man. In those games, like against Mongols, is just like he'll have this huge spike of units because he just spends all the stone suddenly to just mass produce infantry. We had very good economy actually. I'm not sure what like made him so far ahead, but he was so far ahead there. Yeah, typical Mongol guys. And that's just ridiculous. Yeah, as I said, he just kind of spikes up out of nowhere. And more villagers, and better economy, just has more army somehow anyway, which, yeah, just quite sad. And I just don't understand Mongols at all. Like, seriously, this is just absolutely a huge fucking mystery to me, how exactly that civ can just exist without any nerfs at all. He has, yeah. He has fewer villagers, more income, because he has, like, yeah, he can just go for those upgraded techs, I guess, as well, if he wants to. I'm not sure, really. I'm not sure. How exactly he got that win is beyond me. Like, in that style, because I was supposed to have more, because I had, like, a very committed plan. That's super strange. Yeah, I think Mongols are in for a nerf, man. Like, seriously, once the game... They're the only OP civ in there. Like, French... You can handle the French, right? You can just easily handle the French. Because you just go for spears, you just go defensive, especially now, right? With those nerfs to the Hulks and with the nerfs to heavy cavalry as well, because it's just easier to counter it now. But Mongols are just ridiculous. They'll just outproduce you. They will have, like, better army at all stages of the game because they're just more numerous. They have better harassment, they have cheaper economy in a way as well, because they can double produce villagers early. They can also trade for free if you go onto those larger maps and you don't go out on the map early, which you have no opportunity to do because, let's face it, Mongols have fucking more production than you with the stone, right? So they don't even have to double produce traders. They can just, you know, produce them one by one even. If they want to, they can just kind of go for military advantages. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do against the Mongols, to be honest. Like, that's a big fucking question mark. Because that guy just went for like super greedy, double TC, into trading, and he still had units, and he was able to produce more than me. And he, yeah, that's just preposterous, man. Just fucking preposterous Civ. Because in terms of military, he also traded better because he had more army, of course, right? He never had more villagers, though. It's just the trade that he was able to establish. Not sure if he actually got any relics going either. It's just weird. I'm not really sure. Do you just go for Ram Ranch? Do you just go very hard, like all in early on? Just, you know, go get pikes, archers, and just win with archers and pikes maybe? But it doesn't quite work because they just have more. They can just produce more units than you if they want to. Just on demand, they just kind of shit out lots of archers and spears of their own. The only Mongol player that lost to me was a guy who went archers against cavalry, which is kind of ridiculously stupid, right? You just have to be complete moron to lose with Mongols, to be honest. Not sure. Not really sure what that Civ is supposed to be doing. But they don't seem to have like any pronounced weaknesses other than the lack of defensive infrastructure, right? So, but the fact is that they have so much control on the map that you can just use units as defensive infrastructure because they can just double produce anything they want. So I don't know, maybe I was supposed to go and just contest his traders? Like maybe? I have no idea, honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. Because he did commit to the trade quite a bit, right? So maybe if you go on the map, you just go for like horsemen, or I guess that was the play, right? Just go for horsemen, just go out there, just stop the trade, be on the map, just kind of force him to make more units than you, and maybe just play from there. Maybe that was the right decision to make, right? Because the trade is always exposed for Mongols. You cannot wall. It's gonna be the Frenchies versus Abbasids on Confluence. Cool. Cool. So, I don't like Confluence, to be honest. It's one of my least favorite maps. Let's see how that goes. You know what? Let's go for wood here, honestly, because you can just wall off if you want. You can just go for docks and play through that. I think that's the plan for me anyway right now. And Abbasids have cheap docks, so you can just go and do it right now, even if you want to. I do need to find some sheep though. That would be very nice if I had like at least one so far, but doesn't seem to be. Oh shit, my bad, that's my bad. Okay, I have 2, 3. Okay, thank you, game. Like, see, if you complain, the game just feeds you with sheep. That's the secret weapon. If you're streaming, you just kind of wait. So I got 3. We're on his kind of parcel right now, I guess. So we shall see what he's up to very quickly as well. I would be surprised to see him just not go for water anyway, because he's French, right? So he might have decent time. He's gonna go for water too, of course, yeah. So I have to fight French on the water, which I'm not sure how it's gonna go, because I'm not used to playing against French on the water map yet. On a water map, actually. The new better or worse French. Let's see how exactly that works. My feeling is that we might have to go for like double dock or something, to be honest, so I think it's a good moment to pivot into gold, which he is doing, so my bet is that he has a good reason for that. Which is aging up, which we want to match at least. We cannot be like later than him. I'm gonna send some villagers for food. Like, that's too many on wood anyway. I think we have enough to keep producing the ships for a while. And all we really need right now is to actually go up to the next age as soon as we can. So we just need to get the House of Wisdom. We need to get a house. And also scout the rest of my base, I guess, though. Because if he goes here and he finds sheep, I'm gonna be freaking mad, so it's better that he doesn't. Oh, he actually did already, fuck. Yeah, he went through. There is a sheep here, though, yeah. There's a sheep that he missed, so I guess that's fine. I'm gonna drop those sheep here. I'm just gonna go explore this quadrant on the right. Because I have nothing else to do, to be honest, at this point. I'm gonna also just wall this. You know what? Screw it. I just have to wall this as soon as I can. This is the shorter path, so I'm just gonna do it. So once he's done, he's just gonna go back to fishing, I guess. This should mean that I can age up quickly. Yeah, nice. So far, now we should be at feudal around 6-minute mark. I guess 6:30, right? 6:10, because it's 2 minutes to age up, right? Yeah. This is not bad. We do the same thing here, so we're just gonna drop the wall, prevent him from any weird factories that he might want to employ. Keep the villagers on go. That's all intact. I think this is all fine. Would like to actually get some more wood though, right now, because I have 15 villagers on the other resources, and we need to get some infrastructure preparing for the potential aggression of the ships from the side of the French, right? So getting that done is important. We'll also go out on the map and just please gate. Okay, we'll go out on the map in a second and see what exactly he is up to. I still needed to scout this anyway before doing that though, so we need another freaking house now. That's fine, it's gonna get alleviated immediately, so no supply cap here. I have too many villagers queued for sure though. I'm not sure what I'll have to respond to, by the way, because I'm not sure whether he goes for hulks or he just goes like for some other water play. So there's so much fish, by the way, on this map. There's just so much fish. So many fish. I think so much fish is the right word here. Anyway, we're almost there, so I actually have to stop producing. And that's also my way of defending myself, by the way, so it's kind of important. I'm going to get some extra, because if you can just keep your base safe with ships, like if you can just keep this this river passage safe with ships, I think you're golden, honestly. I don't think I walled it off, so the ship still should be able to pass, right? I think so anyway. I'm gonna go, you know what, I'm just gonna go greedy then, right away. He's gonna go with School of Cavalry. I still need to find his docks. Oh, it's here. He has plenty of fishing ships, actually. That's kind of a nasty thing, to be honest. Shit. Okay, I need to get out. Yeah, I was supposed to move some villagers to stone. Where is it here? And I'm gonna do it right away. 2 vills idling right now, which is not great. But there is a fishing ship as well that's idling, okay. Okay. He has a Hulk here. So he loses armor on the Hulk, right? Which means that I can actually, I think I can fight Hulks normally. Yeah, I think I can actually fight those. Just take the shorter exchanges, just go out. I think right now we are actually competitive against the Hulks. Just pretty neat, to be honest. I need more villagers on the wood though. Nice. Okay, we snipe a villager. That's very good. I do think I have still too many villagers and food somehow, which is weird. I hope he doesn't go for some weird push as well. That would be nuts, actually. I lost that scout somehow too. That's unfortunate. I have to kill that sheep. You're gonna get like one more ship and we go, right? That's the idea here, I think. If too much stone, we can just take these villas off and just go here. Get the gathering upgrades. Honestly, just, yeah. Just go a bit aggressive here now. I hope we can do something. It's 2 Hulks, okay, that's not gonna work. No way we can fight this, actually, shit. Do we lose a ship here as well? No. I need to repair these, actually. They lost armor, so these can be fought now. It's just that they're still not taking that much damage. He's gonna lose one now. Okay, we take one down. And those fishing bows, they're actually repairing quite nicely. So you can just kind of micro this semi-decently. I think you can win this now, right? Okay, we have to get out, actually. We have to get out again. Man, that's so frustrating. Still so strong, man. They're still so strong. Okay, let's get the second TC, shall we? Just soon-ish, and... Because we can just... I think we can stay alive at best. That's kind of the best we can do right now. We can just stay alive and... hope for a positive resolution to this, but that's basically all there is. But we will have to go for a push later. We have to just kind of pivot out of water at some point, just go heavy on the sea, I guess. Heavy on the ground, because I have so much food actually. I never researched fresh food stuff. Shit. That's the problem here, right? That's actually the issue. Those villagers are also on freaking wood. So we have to go more on wood, more... Actually, no, these are fine. Screw that. We are fine with this. I hope he's too focused on the water now. Maybe that he's not gonna have enough to fight me later on the ground. Because like French players tend to just really focus on water hard. I think I have enough to just repel him. I just need to go up to the next age and just kill him with that push now. That's the idea anyway. So we just go for a heavy ground push right now. with knights and springolds and with infantry, with spearmen. So that's the objective for now anyway. We have lots of resources on the map, so it's fine. I think I just need to get the blacksmith quickly now. Please. I have so much wood, like please just build me a blacksmith right now. Good lord. Okay, we go for those techs now. We just need to research every tech that we can in the meantime, so. One more. And we'll just get lots of these spearmen, man. We're just gonna get like a crap load of spears. Shit. Okay, that's basically me losing water control. All basically for good, right? We just have to relinquish those. That's why I never committed too hard. But he has so much. Look at how much he spent to get this water control. To be honest, he spent so much that even if we lose the water right now, I don't think we care too much, do we? We just go for like lots of those spears and we're fine. Hope he just wastes time right now on me, and that I can just, you know, get my units through. Make enough infantry to just kind of overpower him later. Because we're almost castle, right? Which I hope he doesn't realize too well. Seriously, I do hope that this is the case. He just hope he doesn't know how far up into castle I am. Because he invested so much on that water that it's gonna be great if I can just capitalize on the ground right now. Though we do need to actually pivot to food as well with those villagers. Because we have way too many on gold right now. We need to pivot to food. And yeah, let's go for the upgrades here. Mix in some actual melee units as well, so that we don't spend all the wood on that. I have so much gold I can probably just afford a lot. Okay, so he's actually going for the, you know, through the water over here as well, which I guess is fine because I can just build springolds. I can just kill him with springolds now. Like dealing with those ships is not a problem at all, because I can just build springolds. I hope anyway that this is that's the right answer. It seems to be. Just go get springolds and just obliterate him with springolds. Problem is, springolds are quite expensive in terms of population as well. It's not easy to sustain that too well. He can't even get into range properly against us. So we go for a death push right now. We just have to go for a death push here. And I'm gonna wall myself off here as well, I think. Just to keep the knights out. Right, I guess that's the way. Or actually here even. No, it's just like this, maybe. Yeah, we need to get some of those villagers actually to the gold as well. Shit. We ran out of gold here, that's a problem actually. And we need houses again. We'll have to go ram ranch here, really. We just have to do a big, good old-fashioned ram ranch. The good thing is that he can't actually threaten me with the ships, because I have so many springolds here that whatever he does with those warships is just going to get punished, right? Because he can't just defend this. I need to send more villagers onto gold though, because I'm out. So we just go Ram Wrench here, right? Just have to be careful. It's gonna be full Ram Range, boys. Okay, he's just trying to cut me off here. With, he's trying to cut off my supply. Well, this means he has nothing in base, right? He should have 0 units here, which is pretty good, actually. And I can just go here, I think, then, because he has concentrated all his units there. He has some Springles, nice. We have to just move into his base right now, honestly. We just have to move in deeper into his base. And then he has very little he can defend with, I think. He also has villagers here. So just build lots of Springles right now. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, shit. No, not now. We just have to deny him production, right? That's the objective for now. He's trying to pick away at us with his Springles, which we should not allow, really. He actually saved all of them. Shit, that's not good. Okay, he has a mango there still. Okay, nice. Landmark is gone. Now you just have to focus those Springles of his, right? So that's fine. I'm just gonna go with those spears. I think they should actually be producing still. And we just keep killing his units. Yeah, nice. I'm gonna get a ram here, honestly. I'm gonna ram this side because I don't see any other nice solution to this otherwise. We need more Springles, man. Just more Springles is the way. It's always been the way, man. GG. Nice. Okay, we won versus. See, I told you guys you can win versus French. Whew. Okay, 1-1 it is. Yep, so very winnable games. French are, as I said, like the only civ I really struggle against are the Mongols. Like French are just kind of meh. So in terms of villager count, he was actually slightly behind because we had double TC, but I stopped producing villagers to just have enough for army. We lost the water battle, but he really had so much on the. That's the problem with the French. Like their ships are so freaking expensive. They can't just, they just can't kill you. If they can't kill you on the water, they just will never be able to win. Right, so on the water maps, they can just commit to ships, but on the Boulder Bay, they lose if they overcommit to ships, which happened here. He had like 8 hulks, which is like 1,800 gold or something, right, in his pocket. Don't think he ever actually went to castle even. He just kind of committed to hulks and just lost the game off the back of that, right? He never went to castle. Because he never had the gold to do this, I think. Never mind, he was castle, shit, so it didn't actually matter completely. Like he had no artillery then, just, yeah. And I was just spamming Springles on the field. It's just impossible to stop that. We saw that in the Chinese versus Chinese match we cast today with Marine Lord, right, in 3DB, where they just got demolished. Guys, I need to take a short break. I need to use the restroom, so I'll be right back in a few minutes. So, like, give me 2-3 minutes to regain composure. Okay, back we are. Let's see how this goes again. I could cast Vortex. We played 2 games. Let's just do it 2x2. Okay, we're gonna try casting some more. I think that's the play. Anyhow, it's funny because it seems like Twitch is actually just occasionally cutting off for some reason. YouTube is very stable, but Twitch does occasionally cut off. Like, it's been around, like, it actually hasn't cut off for an hour now, but it did cut off before. Which is quite surprising, I guess. So let's see how sharp this game goes. Because Vortex, I think that's just really good of an idea to watch people who are like super good at the game, because they have a good read on the meta as well. It's gonna be like, see, that's actually quite peculiar. So people seem to be really enjoying the Rus and the Holy Roman Empire, because it's not just one person that's been doing this consistently, right? It's quite a few players we've seen actually trying the HRE now. Since I guess the spears are so good, right? The spears have become good enough to handle cavalry. Mathematically speaking, I guess, right? So if you go into those larger fights, like, you can just handle cav with spears now, like, without just, you know, losing still in a large way. So I guess that's why that's happening, right? That's why they're doing those. Because I suppose so, right? So since infantry became better, and since they fixed those bugs, right, I think that's just going to naturally mean that the HRE players are just going to be way more numerous, which is good, because I did actually enjoy playing HRE. I'm not good at it anymore, because I was good at that during the stress test, but since I did actually mostly play the Abbasid and the French in full release. But yeah, it's interesting to see what those guys have in store for us anyway. I'm really kind of, because I do enjoy the quirky mechanics for the HRE. So the you know, the prelates and such, it's actually very nice to have that in your eyes anyway, visible, right? Having those kind of new things popping up. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. Just seeing how exactly they can just, you know, abuse those new mechanics. Because they're not new, but they're kind of usable right now. And also, I guess, like, infantry can be decent now against cav, which is pretty cool. Because, like, HRE has very decent, like, units overall, because they have they have normal knights, which is, so they have decent cavalry, they have good artillery, they have ridiculous gold generation if they play it properly. They're allowed to get the gold generation going anyway. So that's basically the idea. Let's see what Darius is in terms of rank anyway. So Darius is ranked 37 actually in Europe. I'm ranked 605. There's no way I ever meet Darius this way, right? Yeah, actually he's rank 57 globally, which is insane. So he's very good. I'm not really sure what he's gonna showcase, because I have to tell you guys, I've not really seen too much successful Rus play at all. Like in my history, I've been actually watching lots of streams. I've been, you know, casting games as well. I've been casting games and trying to kind of get the hang of the meta. I've really not seen a single player who was really good on the Rus. Make of it what you will, really. I just have not seen a single person who'd be decent enough on the Rus to actually just assert their dominance. I guess Mista did fine. Mista did fine when he was playing Vortex, I suppose. That was the matchup, right? So he did fine in that semi-final of Genesis, but I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure about the Civ, because they're the thing with Rus is they're like very, very quirky, right? They're very difficult to play compared to all the other civilizations. But yeah, they just don't seem to bring enough to the table. Let's face it, they don't seem to bring enough to the table to kind of match that difficulty level. So I guess we should be in the game momentarily, so we'll just kind of continue our Rus rant in the cast. So we'll try, maybe, hopefully this can go to YouTube. I can actually upload something nice. So let's get going with this cast, guys. Okay, hello everybody, it's Mikefield here, and we are casting Darius versus Vortex. Those are two very high players on the ladder. Darius is about rank 50, Vortex is around like within the top 20, I believe. So, without any further ado, in the left-hand side of the map, in the west, in the blue, it is going to be Vortex playing the Rus, and on the right, in the east of Boulder Bay of all maps, right, it is going to be Darius actually playing the Holy Roman Empire. We're going to pause the game for a few seconds so that it actually can load up a little bit, because this means we can like have like a decent buffer and we don't get those kind of small stutters early on, which I don't know why is a feature of replay games Age of Empires 4, but it indeed is. I think it catches up right now, kind of stops buffering, and we should be good to watch how the game unfolds. Both players, no surprise, will just go for water. This prelate over here, produced by HRE very early on, will support that gathering, so this should mean that the HRE should have a very decent access to the water, and they should be able to just produce a lot of ships, right? That's a very decent buff to gathering rate. 40% is seriously ridiculous. I don't understand how this civilization is not OP, like, because 40% is such a big bonus, but apparently they're just somewhat balanced anyway, so yeah, make of it what you will. But I'm really hoping that Darius does showcase to us how exactly this civilization is supposed to be played in kind of competitive-ish setting anyway. Now, if you go to see his opponent's base, well, it's actually not Boulder Bay, I'm wrong, those are Warring Islands, isn't it, aren't they? Yeah, those are Warring Islands, I'm so silly, shit. Guys, I thought this was Boulder, but it's actually even better. So it's a water map, and I have not really seen too many matches played here. So basically what this map does is it has like this kind of, geez, what is this called? A passageway. I know the word, I need to look for it in my kind of internal dictionary. But there is this kind of a passage between those two islands here, and those islands are packed with resources, but so are the bases, right? So contesting those is only going to be done, I think, over the relics, because there are 4 relics situated here, 3 relics situated here, and there are also 2 sacred sites. So I really bet those players are going to contest that to some extent. Of course, right now we see this very chill opening, villagers going for fishing. And we also see villagers here obviously just gathering more wood so that they support the water production. On the other side, actually, there is nothing happening yet. There are just a few fishing ships, and that's all she wrote for now. The Rus is actually, I think, going to invest slightly more into that wood economy right now. The weird thing actually for me is that like you pick Rus on a map that doesn't quite have hunts, right? There's nothing to hunt for here. So that, you know, Vortex is actually in a very weird position where he really would like to have some access to animals, but there are basically like 2 hunts altogether on this entire freaking map, and there isn't much more left. So I'm kind of surprised that he went for Rus here, since, you know, they do need to have that hunt access to ramp up. Obviously there is this there is a landmark that allows you to just basically catch up, like I think when you go up to Imperial or to Castle. I'm not a big Rus specialist, but that's how it goes. So basically you have the opportunity to catch up to your opponent that way, but that's all that you really have at your disposal, right? There's not much more. So if you're playing the Rus, you are really going to have, you're really going to need some sort of a secret plan, to be honest. You need to have this crazy plan to capitalize on that. Obviously, that's actually something I never kind of realized. There are so many wolves here, so you can just. So I was wrong. I was super wrong. Look at how many wolves there are. Like there are like 10 wolves over here. So he's just easily going to get that bounty. It's gonna be a bit more time consuming, and obviously wolves do fight back. But he's actually just able to build a transport ship and just get that going. So it's actually a very smart pick from Vortex. I never realized this was gonna happen because I completely forgot there were so many wolves here. Like, because if you go with normal civilization up onto the island, like you don't see that, right? You kind of don't care about it. You know, like 5-6 wolves, they just kind of die to a single infantry unit at that point. But in here, it's actually quite interesting to see that, yeah, he's just going to get a lot of bounty bonus here. You know, every single wolf is like 25, I think, right? It is 25 indeed. So getting 10 wolves is 250 bounty. He can easily get everything. It's actually very difficult to deny the Rus here as well, because, like, what the hell do you do? How the hell do you deny that? Probably just don't. Now, the only issue here for Vortex is that he's gonna have to build some hunting cabins, I guess, to, you know, basically keep his economy in line. But he has to do this soon, because like you have to build the cabin before you chop down the woods, rather than after you chop down the woods, right? So obviously all those trees, all this lumber has to be kind of counted in by the hunting cabin before you chop it down. Now we see this poor scout over here just trying to fight his way against the wolf. We see a large number of fishing ships, 8 of those over here. And that's basically what's happening here. There's nothing special happening other than that. The Rus goes up to H2. And I do believe that our Holy Roman Empire player, Darius, is going to follow in suit. He's getting the Aachen Chapel. Obviously getting this nice aura around. Allowing all his villagers in the area of effect to work a little bit faster. If you have some sort of hunts that you can bring over, of course, for sheep, you can obviously capitalize on that bonus even further, right? So you can see the AoE here. It is relatively decent, so you can actually just bring the sheep over here. You will enjoy quite a decent economy. Of course, you can also just build a few fields here later on down the line. You'll also get, you know, very decent increase to the efficiency of farming of this civilization. So HRE overall have very solid economy bonuses, right? Those are like, that's basically like the equivalent of multiple upgrades, I think, which is pretty great. The Rus actually is gonna go aggressive though, so you can see this is the thing that we have also seen before from the Rus players, right? They just don't care about your fishing Sim City, they just go for the throat. And Darius only now is actually able to age up, so all those aggressive Lothian attack ships, actually, they're just gonna get a lot of stuff done here. He doesn't even manage to garrison that boat here, and it's actually very scary right now for Vortex, because he has no response to this. Like, what the hell do you do, actually? How exactly are you supposed to work against it right now? Because you have no way of producing your own ships even at this point. You have to concede full water control to your opponent, and you do want to get Sacred Sites, and you do want to get the relics as HRE. So conceding this completely is not a good idea, is it? Which is kind of surprising. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of surprising to me that players are so sloppy around this. Like, because the Rus can go super aggressive with those ships. So conceding water control is just never a good way to do things, I think, in any matchup against Rus, because they can just produce so many ships that you either have to go super aggressive yourself, right? Or I guess you have to just ignore water, but you can't, right? So you have to just I guess you would like to see like triple docks, maybe even. Just you need to have some preparation against this stuff, because like you cannot afford just kind of throw your units away like this either. It's kind of a terrible engagement for Darius again. So Vortex just goes for the throat once again. Look at this. He's just gonna take out this archer ship again, and there is nothing really left. There are 5 archer ships from Vortex still on the map. They're slightly weaker than the galleys, but again, they're just so cheap to make that you don't care about this if you're Rus. You just absolutely obliterated the economy of your opponent this way. Like, there's nothing you can do right now as Darius. Like, I don't think you can ever regain water control, right? You could potentially just, I think what he should have done, maybe just, you know, he should have taken like 2 villagers to the north, just built a dock or 2 over here, maybe just try to regain the control through that, because you cannot do this through this kind of bottom part of the map. I don't think you can ever just, maybe I'm wrong actually, he has a lot of damage. Actually, those ships are very strong, so he might actually be able to maybe take some losses, but still, you know, stay alive in this game. I guess that's what he hopes for anyway. So he's gonna take down this Lodya attack ship. He's gonna probably just repel his opponent. But this was a very handsome cost, right? He actually paid a lot to do this. So those ships over here, they are obviously just 2 left, and Rus has probably like 6 or 7 Lodya fishing ships, actually more. And they can be transformed, right? They're like roaches in StarCraft. They're like most of the Zerg units in StarCraft. You can actually transform them to army units if you want to. And I do think that Vortex should have enough resources to do so if he pleases. Now, he actually does not. He spent a lot to get that water control going for himself. So that's the problem. Actually, Darius just gives up because he sees, yeah, because Vortex just went up to castle while Darius was dealing with those attacks. So he just recognized there is no way he can fight this anymore. And through complete water supremacy, Vortex just takes the series. He just, yeah, he takes the game. He wins very, very easily as well. So he goes up to very fast castle. It's actually impressive how well he was able to coordinate that, because not only did he go for really fast castle timing, 9 minutes in is really early for Rus, especially in the water maps where you kind of get to feudal around like 520, even I guess 6 sometimes. He also, I think he had lots of gold from those wolves, right? Because you get lots of money for bang for your buck for every single wolf you kill. So I guess he just went to that island. He cleaned up all the wolves, and he just had enough resources from that to completely overtake in terms of like age ups, right? He just went up to castle, and I do not believe Darius had any way of fighting back. Because what do you do? Like you lose the water battle, you have less economy, you had less everything really. Let's just look at the graph, right? He had like less everything, and he was also not aging, and he was really far away from being able to age up even. So it's obviously very, like, Vortex just did him dirty, man. He just did him dirty, seriously. That's such a nasty play. I love it. Oh, Viper is in the game, please. Let us watch Viper. I can check Nauticon as well, but I do not think Nauticon is high on the ladder. So we can just very quickly check Nauticon as well. No, Nauticon is like my elo, so it's not gonna be worth it. Like, he was very high up before, but I think he just kind of stopped playing for a while. So he's not that great anymore. He's just good. So we just have to wait right now. We have to just wait for those guys to load into the game, and that way we'll be able to. I hope that Vortex, I mean Viper is just going to the game right now, to be honest, because Nauticon is, or Vortex actually, either Viper or Vortex are good. So try to cast one of those two. Gentlemen, I'm gonna I'm gonna go grab some snack in the meantime, because I need to munch on something. I'm getting kind of hungry-ish, to be honest. Viper seems to be gone, actually, man. Viper seems to be completely gone. Which is weird. I guess this is what it is. We are stuck with Vortex, which is not necessarily a very bad thing. Oh my god, no way. We're gonna cast the Muslim versus Vortex. Come on, that's lovely. I don't know if you guys know the Muslim. He's like a very good StarCraft 2 pro and a caster. Like, he's one of the best casters, I think. But I'm banned on his Twitch, by the way, because I criticized him for losing once. Like he just made lots of mistakes in his games. He blamed Protoss for winning, just the race that he lost to. And I said, like, yeah, you just made mistakes. There's just Protoss is not overpowered, because we saw other Protoss players lose in the tournament. It's not impossible to win a Terran versus Protoss. And just banned me. So, but he's a good player. I respect him still. Yeah. So we shall cast him, of course. I'm very curious as to how exactly this game goes. Obviously, like, that's a huge clash, because we have Vortex, who comes from... I guess he played lots of different games, actually, right? He played SC2 as well. But the Muslim swapped to Age of Empires 4 from StarCraft 2, so it's going to be quite thrilling. So you have to wait for those guys to get ready. And then we obviously will get going with the cast. Okay. It's also the Mongols, which I dread. So I'm really looking forward to see how exactly Muslim or Demu handles those. Because the Mongol matchups are really scary for me. I just don't understand how to stop them in any way or form. So actually being able to witness a good player play against them, I hope Demu just doesn't get smashed by Mongols, but I'm hoping that he just shows me how exactly this is supposed to be done. Because early on in the game, I think Chinese and Abbasid play very similarly in the way. They have similar objectives. So you want to just get your economy going, get up to second TC, and be efficient with that, right? So I do think that that's going to be something I can learn from quite a bit anyway. I'm really curious. I'm not sure what the map is, by the way. I did not catch that at all, because the loading has become very fast right now for me. Ever since I, sorry. Ever since I swapped the computers. So I have really not been paying attention to the loading screens at all. So we shall see what the map it is. What map it is like in a second or two. I mean, in a minute 30 actually. Okay, I have to say I'm kind of biased as well, because I want the Mongols to lose. So I'll be trying to watch the Muslims' perspective this time around. We'll try to focus on how exactly he proceeds with the early game. I do think I struggle in the early game mostly against Mongols, so we shall see how exactly he does things. I think I got like the... Against the Mongols I was playing, like I think I just got pressured too hard, so that was the problem for me. We shall see how he manages to deploy his units and deploy the infrastructure to deal with Mongol attacks. I'm very hopeful, guys. I'm very hopeful. So, without any further ado, let's actually pause. That's good practice. Because if we pause, then you get the buffer, right? And there is no stutter later on, so just wait for 30 seconds. So that this replay actually just kind of gets going. And we'll introduce the players then. Hey guys, so it's Mikefield here. We are watching the game between the Muslim playing the Chinese in the blue, in the north of the map, and Vortex in the south playing the Mongols actually. And that's a peculiar opener. It kind of indicates for the Mongols that they might want to go for stone. In the sense that they might just kind of want to use the double villager production, which is very rare actually. I've not seen this done too often. All the Mongols I've played so far were just kind of mass producing units through this, like from the very get-go. So I'm kind of curious to see how exactly this is handled. We can obviously review the entire map, and we'll see how exactly this goes. This is Nagari, right? I think this is Nagari. No, this is Ancient Spires actually. I thought this was Nagari. So we are working with Nagari as our map, and we can see obviously that the Muslim is going to go all in on the wood again. I'm really scared to do this if I am playing the against the Mongols, because you actually have all those lakes, right? Wonderful lakes, by the way. That look at the water in this game; it's just wonderful. But the problem is that if you do this, if you just go for those lakes, Mongols have so much power to actually just repel you that it's just really, really scary. Because it's very difficult to keep your buildings up anyway in the first place. Obviously, Demo has a very decent position. I'm not sure if he actually has scouted this or no, but there is a nice lake over here that can just very easily keep defended, I think, because it is just at the back of his base. It's a very nice draw, I guess, for Demo this way, but there are only two. Shoreline fish deposits over here. There are only 2 over here as well, so it might not be the best pick overall. There are like 7 or 8 on this lake here. There are also deep fish actually. So this lake over here that Vortex has scouted, this one does have deep fish, right? So deep water fish, of course, provide you with extra income. They're just kind of faster to gather and they're just more efficient overall. The scary part, of course, is that he just got scouted by the Mongols, so Vortex does know exactly what he's dealing with. I don't think he cares too much, though. He seems to be just kind of going slowly up towards, you know, more wood, so he's not gonna be aggressive here yet. I think he's not gonna mass produce scouts or anything like that. Because I was surprised, but having like a lot of scouts like protecting this attacking this. I don't think you can even hold this with a single tower anymore. Like you just need to build like a Barbican of the Sun or something here to just make sure this doesn't, this position just doesn't die for you. So yeah, we shall see how exactly Demo approaches this. I would maybe suspect that he's just gonna go for that for the Barbican over here, just making sure that no units can actually threaten this position, because that's a lot of food, right? It's like several thousand food, like 6,000-7,000 food here, I think, right? 6. So you don't want to overcommit to those bows. You don't want to get too many, but you do not want to get too few as well. Obviously, the Chinese, they need to kind of expand at some point, right? They probably will want to get some extra stone. But having the support of, the economical support of that dock means that you can kind of delay that expansion by quite a bit. The Mongols here, of course, producing extra fishing ships as well. And everyone seems to be kind of chilling right now, not even getting much gold going, right? So you can see that those players are not really getting gold yet at all. And this Khan actually is just slowly chipping away at this villager of Daemu, and they're not too healthy actually. 50 shots or like actually 25 shots and you're dead, you lose the Vil. So he pulls away on time. He's just going to be very, very annoyed, I think, by this Khan. The thing is that the Chinese, if you go for the water build, you can't really afford to get the Imperial Official at all in the first place, which is going to be a very, very decent pain in the ass for our Chinese player here, because he really wants to get enough gold to age up. He only has 132. He has not been able to get any taxes going yet. So at this rate, he's just going to get outpaced by the Mongols, I guess. You see also that, the Vortex actually just goes for spearmen. He's just going to, as I said, threaten this position on the water. And what I think the Dame's plan was to build a Barbican here. That's the only reasonable place, I think, for him to build it. But if he doesn't do this soon, like those spears are just already here, so I think you cannot even finish the construction over here right now anymore. So Demo actually goes for that Barbican. He's just going to do this on the gold of all things. So I think he just concedes this water, because I don't see a way to reasonably defend this position right now unless you can get like very quick archers. Mongols are just going to pillage your ass over here. There's just no way you can defend this. You need lots of archers, and you need to also just kind of get there soon. So, you know, you have to finish this construction. It's probably going to be at least 20 seconds, 30 seconds more, even with the Chinese bonuses. And then obviously you want to kind of take some archers over here and attack those spears. And there are more of those coming, so it's not even that easy to repel them anymore. So I do think Demo is actually going to lose this position in the water. And he invested a lot of kind of resources into getting this going in the first place, right? Because look at how many fishing ships he has. So the Mongols actually are going to be behind in AJAPs. I think the Vortex is not really even trying to get that AJAP going, and he's actually quite close now. So he's probably just going to do it right away. But he's also putting a lot of pressure on this position over here. And this might mean there is like no way for Demo, like he's gonna go for like fast archery production. That's like basically 3 archery ranges. So he's gonna be able to pump out a lot of the archers, but he's gonna lose a lot of basically worker time here. Because this dock is not gonna be long for this well. Look at this, like he's just gonna lose the dock for sure. And I think Mongols just get out, they just get out right now. They just kind of have to leave, right? They just have to leave. Vortex kind of hesitates, loses a single spear. He's just gonna take this shoreline, he's just gonna try to evacuate as many units as he possibly can. Which is fine, but obviously Dimuk has like 8 idle workers right now who are not doing anything. So it's gonna take a little bit of time to get the villager here, start the construction. You know, it's actually quite annoying. What I would have liked to see maybe is not, you know, instead of the spears, maybe just make some scouts, make some cavalry, like maybe horsemen. Because replying to horsemen is much more difficult than replying to spears. Like, you just make 4 archers and they can repel any number of spears unless you just stop microwing them. But if you have horsemen, you can just, you know, even if the enemy makes some pikes, first of all, you force them into pikes so you can make archers, and second of all, you can just kind of go around and maybe try to look for some picks. Obviously, this position on the gold here for the Mongols is very exposed. Vortex is actually going for fast castle here for sure. He's gonna get an archery range, or, yeah, a single archery range of his own. He's gonna get the barracks. I'm not really certain as to how many villagers that will produce, maybe just like a single, maybe just a couple honestly. But what he's going to do for sure right now is going to go to very quickly age up. He's just going to try to do this as soon as he humanly can. And once he does that, he's just gonna go for a death push, right? Because the Chinese, they're not really that great against death pushes, to be honest. Demo actually loses a villager here. That's very unfortunate. Obviously, every single loss right now is going to cost him quite a bit. And if the Mongols try to take you to the Ram Ranch, which is going to happen inevitably right now, I think that's just how it is. He has 9 spears who can build rams very quickly. He's gonna go up to castle, I believe, very, very soon. And once that actually does happen, once those kind of plans surface, Ben has very little time, so Demo has very little time to defend this position. Like, what exactly is he supposed to do right now, right? What can he do against this? He has the Barbican at the back, so it's not going to protect anything useful here. You need to have some solid infrastructure. He's also going to... Oh, that's so unlucky, because... We're not unlucky, this is just straight up stupid, because you just have to scout your opponent all the time. If you go for Song Dynasty, and your opponent is going for a age 3 already for castle, you're putting yourself at a very large disadvantage, because not only do you lose this race here to Castle Age, you also are spending a lot of your resources to make those extra villagers, because Song Dynasty makes your villagers produce faster. That's true, like 33% faster production is quite decent, but at the very same time, you are spending more resources on villagers this way, because obviously, yeah, you're just kind of forced to produce more of those. Ben goes for Choco News as well, which Zunga News that is. Those are very decent units now because they're very cheap, right? They only cost like 20 food, I think. Yeah, it's super cheap, look at this. They cost some gold though as well. But against Spearmen they will do quite fine, but against anything else, like, you know, men-at-arms, they're just gonna be pathetically weak because they fire multiple arrows. They're 3 arrow per shot. The problem is, however, for them that that they have really low base damage, so you do need to get that extra bonus range damage to actually do anything to infantry. And if you start fighting heavy infantry, that's really trouble. So I think Demu realizes now what kind of trouble he is in as well, because he really has to age up very quickly. He's nowhere ready, right? Look at this, he has nothing. So he just decides to go for a kind of a Hail Mary play, which I do understand. But by the time he gets through them up, I guess he's just going to see a few knights. Like, it's gonna be 3, 4 knights, 5 knights actually, waiting. I don't think you can do anything with those archers against like 5 knights. So as I said, Mongols just very good at mass-producing units, and I do not think Ben is ready for this. Like, I don't think he is ready to find like his opponent 5 knights on his hands. And you know, 5 knights are just going to easily dispose of those weak archer units. Because they have like, I think they have like 3 armor, 4 ranged armor altogether. And there's also a ranged armor upgrade coming in very, very quickly. So there's first upgrade ready, and there's another one just kind of coming. And also there's a Khan over here just harassing the villager line, of course, being kind of pesky. The thing is, like, what do you do with the ram here? Like, if you're Ben, look at this. Like, if you're the Muslim, you have 4 knights already. Like, this is so much. Like, 4 knights very early on against this small pack of infantry. All ranged units, by the way. There's no spear even. That's really scary. And look at this. He's microing a single Khan against like 5, 6 Zunganus, and they're not doing much. There's a fight here, of course, it breaks out. They just, look at this. They barely scratch those lancers. This is 5 ranged armor against, what, 5 attack. This is not gonna do anything. They're just gonna get cleaned up. Ben just concedes. Yeah, Mongols, guys. Mongols. This is Mongols, seriously. They just are super strong. Like, Ben had no chance, like, because Vortex had enough saved up to mass-produce knights, like, he could just double-produce knights for a while. There is nothing that you can do as Chinese. He would have needed to, like, wall off, I guess, and maybe just hope for the best. But even then, I don't really know how exactly this pans out for you, man. So this was not a pretty game by any means, right? This was not a pretty game by any means. Demu just got absolutely stomped into the ground by Vortex. Let's face it, he was just completely demolished here. I would see more Vortex, actually. Vortex is so good, man. We have to check his rank first, actually. Let's see. So Vortex is gonna be rank number 21 in the world. He's on a 12-game winning streak, guys. He's on a 12-game winning streak, which is insanity. This is absolutely... Did I actually forget to switch off my camera for the cast? Shit. Yeah, I forgot about it completely. Crap. Sorry, please let me know, guys. If you see me with camera on during cast, just let me know. Because I was blissfully unaware of that, honestly. I was just unaware. We're gonna stream until 4 because I'm going out today. I'll have to still do some stuff at home, so we'll have to finish the stream relatively soonish. Probably like a single cast and a single gameplay, then we'll just have to go. I'll have to call it a day this way. No, well, let's just play a game first, because I don't think Vortex is gonna find a game anytime soon. He's kind of far off. Like, because he's such high rank, like, it's kind of unlikely. Sorry, I felt like someone's talking to me. So it's kind of unlikely, I think, that Vortex does actually find anything for a while, so we can at least try to queue up and see whether we get a game of our own going. Yeah. He's quick play searching, so we'll play a game and then we'll see who else we can actually cast. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I'm kind of not sad, but surprised that the chat is so quiet. We have 5 people here. We had like 7 for a while, right? And you guys are so quiet. Kind of weird, not gonna lie. But it's okay. It's fine. So we're just gonna wait for this game to start, hopefully. We get a match. Don't get mad, Tommy. Let's see what he plays. He has hidden the match history. Altai. He is hidden the match. I cannot read because usually just kind of go and scout what the opponent might play. Let's play the French for a change because we played like a lot of Abbasid today. So a lot. Okay, 3 Abbasid games I think. So we're gonna play some Frenchies as well. I need to learn HRE as well, but it's not gonna happen in 1v1s, is it? It's just gonna be very brutal losses one after the other in that. So okay, the English I think is a fine matchup for the French. So we shall see how that actually works, of course. But I'm hopeful. We have a hand like right at our door, so obviously I'm gonna exploit that. I'm gonna use that to my advantage. This is Altai, so sheep should be on those hills there, right? Basically. There is a gold deposit here. I should send another villager to gold as well, actually. Especially that there is like, it's very easy here to get a lot of food. Because you're using the hunts, right? So it's really straightforward getting enough food to get going here. Okay, 2 sheep is better than 0. That's what I would say so far. We should go north, I think, or south. That's where the mountains will be, and that's where you can find some extra meat, I guess. 4 is too many, fuck, man. We have a lot of sheep now. 4, 3. I thought I had like double ring here, but it should be fine. There's like another mountain here as well. I need to stop rallying those villagers here, to be honest. 3 is definitely enough for that. Okay, I'm gonna get another one to food actually. Let's just move these around. And we can go up the mountain. I think that's where the villagers should be. I mean, where the sheep should be anyway. But I might be wrong. I'm so wrong, man. Son of a bitch. Not lucky at all. Hashtag never lucky, guys. So this is basically like a dead end, I guess, right? I hope he has not scouted this yet. It looks like there are just... It looks like he actually has been here already. I'm just gonna go north then, because I said I was supposed to go north, but I just kind of went west, and nothing good came out of that actually. I should be already just on my way actually to the age up. I kind of wasted lots of villager kind of working time with that. Oh shit! I pushed the deer. Oh no! I was actually looking for that's such a small map. Look at how tiny it is. Actually, it's so small. It's good for me because I'm gonna make knights, right? But I really should be going up right now to the next age. So weird. Where are the sheep? Oh no, there is actually, see, there's a kind of passage behind the mountain, so that's where I should find the sheep then, I guess. Okay, we take 4 villagers to build. Of course, School of Cavalry is the weapon of choice here. They're gonna go there. We're gonna also have to... Where are the sheep, seriously? We're gonna have to go for some wood, because we'll need to build a house at some point in the future, among other things. So, you know what? We're gonna do it differently, because we need a house immediately, so... I don't want to get supply blocked, so we're just gonna go for the tree. I'm not scouting well this game at all. 3 villas building. I think I can afford the 4th actually. And we need more on food as well. We need way more villas on food. Oh fuck. Okay, so he has lots of villagers on. He's aging up as well. He's kind of close to the to feudal, closer to me. So I probably will want to get some additional villagers on this. And yeah. Okay, he's going for some sneaky shit here. Let's see. He's also walling off. Okay, that's what he's doing. Fine. So since it's the English, I might actually just take some villagers towards the stone as well to at least match his economy there then. Because I'm pretty sure like if he's gonna go for walls, he is also very likely to be almost relentlessly focusing on economy then, which means you have an opening to maybe harass him a bit in that regard. We shall see though. He has way more sheep than me. I don't think it matters too much, but he does have way more than me in the end. We go through the front door, of course. We'll try to find some. I'm not really sure I can find much, so I'm gonna be very conservative here. Of course, 4 villages there. I just don't want to lose the knights, right? You just want to keep producing them because they're the backbone of your army later. I'm not sure you want to lose them, right? Of course you don't. I have too few villagers on foot though, so I have to kind of pull some away and get them to the deer again. He has walled off completely, hasn't he? Yeah. Which is fine, because he wasted wood on something that I can just ignore then. Like, I'm not sure what he can do then to me. I have to kill that sheep so that he doesn't take it. Very, very unfortunate for the sheep itself, but yeah. He has a gate here, man. This is so crazy. He spent a lot to just wall himself off completely, though, right? That's the thing. We're gonna take the scout here. We're gonna see what exactly he's up to. He has walled off like entirety of his base. Actually, look at this. This insanity, man. So we should just go for like. Not fast castle, maybe just kind of go castle right once we finish with this town, right? I'm gonna keep sending villagers to food then. Like, these guys can definitely just chill a bit more, like we don't need that much. Where are the berries? Whatever. So this is enough for sure to net me a TC. No, 290, fuck. Where do we get the TC, by the way? Do we just go for like a greedy one over here? There's like gold berries, I think that defends a lot. So there's the gate here. I guess he wants to use the gates to move past me. With the archers if he does that at all. So we're just gonna go for... I mean, he relinquished a lot of control on the map. So what I can do now is actually I can just go for a hunt here even. Just go for that boar. And I do need to get a TC here as well going. TC number 2 is gonna go up here. I think that's good. Good enough anyway. I wasted a lot actually. I have like 60 excess stone and a lot of excess wood, so I am kind of in a weird position right now, of course. It's not unrecoverable anyway. We're gonna go for the wheelbarrow because we can afford it. We have way more food. We have way too little food right now. He's following me. He's just taking those units out right now, huh? So he has archers and... Yeah, we shave off a single archer, that's fine. And I'm just gonna get a tower here, honestly. Just kind of, I need to kind of keep him busy. I need to keep him occupied long enough to finish building this tower. I'm gonna be fine. Nice. Okay, he is late now to the party. No, no, come on. Oh no. I'm gonna go for this. I also need archery. I need to get the blacksmith. And I need to just... Oh, no. Fuck, I lose a knight here. That's bad. That's not good at all. I can get the arrow slits, though. That's nice for me. He's gonna go aggressive on me, isn't he? Not sure that boar was worth, to be honest, but whatever. So... he has to just back off for now. I hope, anyway. I'm gonna go get some archers right away. Yeah, and... oh fuck, those villagers are not getting anything. What the hell? They're supposed to be getting food, I think. They're just returned to the... it's pretty unfortunate, to be honest. I need to get some ranged armor. Okay, he's wasting all those units right now, which is great for me. I need to stop making my own army though. Perfect. So he's gonna lose a lot of those spears for nothing. I actually have made some decent army of my own now. But he is in castle. Fuck, man. Oh, come on. Oh, I need food. Like, I desperately need food right now. That's the problem for me, huh? So he's losing the skirmishes quite handsomely though, so that's actually very good for me. Okay, I need way more gold as well. Come on. I can pull these villagers to gold, I guess. That's the way to do it, I suppose. Yeah, I'm just gonna get some defenses for the knights as well. No, I can't afford this. I just need to go up to castle first. Then only then can I actually afford something decent. Getting those arrow slits was actually huge. So that gold was not wasted. I mean those resources were not wasted. So we're gonna go Guildhall, of course, like here in the back of the base. I need to kind of pull all the villagers here, to be honest. To just make sure that this goes down. Okay, these villas, they have to go elsewhere now. So I'm just gonna go here to gather that food. Okay, we're gonna go for like another stable and a barracks as well. We need to have that going for us. We can produce some units now, which is good. Not sure what my opponent is doing. I mean, he lost a lot of his like base army. That's kind of good for me, right? Because he had to pay a lot to just get anything done here. I'm gonna wall off here as well at the bottom because that's important. So we have decent kind of standing army, and obviously we're just kind of gonna be ready to fight him when he goes up and tries to fight us. I hope anyway that's the case. 21 on food, 3 on wood. That's kind of decent, I guess. I need some archers still, because I do want to have something against. Okay, they can just go for wood here as well, I think. And I might want to get some extra wood because I do need to get some vision here anyway as well. I need to get those knight upgrades too, so that's why I got this building in the first place. We're gonna send those 4 villagers here. I need this. Yeah, we're kind of spending all the resources. We're not floating anything. That's good, right? That's obviously nice as well. This map is nice for walling off, I suppose, which is also cool. And we should go for some MAAs as well, because he's gonna have pikes. I think MAAs are just extraordinarily good at dealing with that stuff. So obviously getting the archer armor is very nice as well for us. So we're just gonna go for it. Okay, So what is he gonna do here right now? Like, he's not gonna get much done here, seriously. Look at this, he's getting surrounded completely. He's gonna get slaughtered. Look, I'm cleaning him up completely, and I can just take it down right now. Yeah, nice. So we did win this fight. We have... we did lose the tower though, that's kind of sad, but we are still harvesting the boar. I never swapped this, I have to just go for gold here and swap. I need to get some villagers as well. I need to get siege engineering, and we'll just go for a push right now, because we need to actually just respond in kind right now, to be honest. So yeah, that's the idea here, because we traded super well here. We just need to kind of get the better of it now. We just need to kind of capitalize on the victory that we found. I'm just gonna take these villagers over here as well. It's so many though, so kind of unfortunate that I had to send so many over there. There is another boar, by the way. You can actually just go and try to take that boar with like 8 vills as well, because 8 can harvest the boar. And also getting like a monastery would be nice, but the idea here is that we probably just go for a push now, because we have a decent advantage in terms of eco. I mean, in terms of army, because I have not lost a single unit right now, or not too many anyway. And he lost so much, man. He lost so much over there. Where's the boar? Here. Oh shit, that's bad. Ah. Okay, nice. So we have 2 boars being taken. We're gonna get the monk. There are 3 control sites, so we cannot win via sites, via the holy sites. But we can definitely get the rams going right now. I think I have enough to build rams. Yep. So we're gonna get those rams. We're gonna send those guys to Ram Ranch. I'm not sure he has anything to stop me at this point, to be frank. I'm not sure what exactly he can do to actually stop my army. Maybe I'm wrong though, maybe I'm just dead wrong, but... I'm just gonna send this, and hopefully we can just destroy him with this push that's coming. And Ram Ranch it is, boys. Ram Ranch it is. We have 13 villagers idling. Gold is the problem, apparently. Okay, cavalry. We're just gonna kite around. We're just gonna go for those archers. I'm gonna pull out with these knights over here. I think we're winning this quite handsomely as well. Okay, knights are winning, and he resigns. GG. Whew, okay, nice. Yeah, he had no chance. Like he just misplayed that too early. Like he was very bad at the early game. Like he lost a lot of units for nothing. Like he basically lost the game over this shitty boar over here. That's the problem for him. And he just didn't micro the spears well, because he just let my knights on top of his military, to be honest. I think he resigned a bit early, because it was not game over for him, I think. Like, I would have kind of gone into his base, perhaps. It was not dead. It was like, he was not completely dead, I think. But, yeah. He lost the game altogether, though. We're going up. We're going up in elo. So we are rank 500 in Europe, guys. We're rank 500 in Europe. Okay. I mean, there is Hera playing. Like, what can I do, right? What can a man do when he sees Hera playing? And he's playing Nuha. I have no idea who Nuha is. Let's just quickly check. But without any further ado, guys, let's just go into the cast, because apparently it is going to be interesting. So we have Hera, apparently. No, we have Nuha actually playing the Abbasid dynasty. He is spawning in the north, in the blue. And the map seems to be Dry Arabia. No, it's actually... Oh, it's the weird kind of Arabic variant of the Hill and Dale, which is the very defensive map. And in the south, in the red, it is going to be our Age of Empires 2 professional player, Hera, playing the English. And he's actually going with... I'm not sure why he picked English for this map, to be honest, because I do believe that the civilizations that are just capable of booming super hard are going to have a way easier time just kind of managing here. Especially that he's against the Abbasids, who can, you know, do two things. They can just boom into Imperial, very easy because they can produce basically like through, even from up to 3 TCs, and they'll just have very little cost associated with that. Or they can also just, you know, go for this stable, kind of, okay, staple actually, Castle Age push. The all-in that basically is going to kill you if you're not prepared. Because you can just, you know, the Abbasid can, without any additional tech, just easily construct siege engines in the field. And this is absolutely what Hera is probably going to experience if he doesn't scout properly. Because you can defend against this if you're ready, if you have like a lot of Springles of your own, then you can probably just deflect any sort of, you know, Ram Ranch style pushes. That's just kind of, that's how it goes, right? All those kind of Ram Ranches, they die when there are Springles on the other side, just ready to repel the Rams. This means like you cannot get into the enemy base, or it's kind of inhibited anyway, and the opponent can get enough defenses to probably deflect your blows. This being said, I'm not really sure what exactly is going to happen. I have not seen the Abbasid play before today, so it's very peculiar to actually curious anyway to see how this is handled. We see there's actually a mill. I'm not sure Nohan knew what he really wanted to do. I guess he kind of went for the mill to get those berries, but at the same time he's actually still going at those sheep. There's also a nice hunt over here, probably something that he might want to entertain taking a bit later down the line. There is no like ridiculous sign of greed yet, so we've seen players just, you know, relentlessly go for Stone Hill and Dale, even just, you know, age 1, before being able to age up even. This was something that people were doing. Now, Hera is ready to age up. I do believe that Noha still doesn't have the House of Wisdom, which might be the reason for which he's so desperately just cutting those trees over here. And indeed, the House of Wisdom drops right now, so he will need to complete it to actually start the age up process. Hera is going to go up with the Council Hall, as everybody else has always done with the English. I don't think I've ever seen the second landmark built in my lifetime, to be honest, so that's kind of interesting. Not really something that is too popular with anybody, for a good reason, of course. Like having 2 free archery ranges that also have some cool upgrades for archers is just really, really nice for the English, who are an archer civ after all. So that's probably the reason why. Now, obviously, our French player, sorry, our Abbasid player over here, he's just gonna go up through the House of Wisdom, which is going to be slightly slower. I guess he's gonna take 2 minutes to go up to age 3, age 2, that is. And the problem with Abbasid is that since you're doing this, you really, I would really mostly suggest that you do not get any wood in the process. Like before going up to age 2, you have no business doing anything but gathering resources to just click up. If you can do this, it's just going to be really straightforward for you, because then you can, you know, move your villagers to that wood, just get ready for any sort of aggressive play later. But not having this kind of setup just kind of delays you quite a bit, and getting up to age 2 around like 530, that's what we're looking at on a map that doesn't have any ships, doesn't have any water, is not necessarily the optimal course of action, I believe. So I do not think that that Noha is really getting the optimal play down here. But at the same time, I think he's just gonna have a, I guess he's a higher ranked player than me, so he probably knows how to play Abbasid way better than me anyhow. Because the thing is, like, what is the reason for you to go for early wood, right? You can obviously just go, your goal could be, I am not denying that, you could just be aiming for very early TC number 2, which he's doing, right? But you can very easily pivot into the second TC once you have started the age up process. Because if you are able to do this as soon as humanly possible, as you can see, you can also get fresh foodstuffs, which will be allow you to basically just produce villagers at half cost very, very, very early on, which is, I think, the optimal play here. But Noha obviously disagrees. He's just gonna go for this setup over here. He's very close. Actually, he's wasting time just like me, so he's getting way too much stone, way more than he needs. He should have just transferred those villagers elsewhere already. He does reach feudal though, so I guess he's just gonna pull those villagers right away. Actually, just 310, 320, 340 stone, which is, sorry, no, he had 330, he had 330 stone. Hera on the other side, I was just looking at Hera's interface all the time, apparently. Hera is gonna do the same thing. He's just going to go to double TC English play. He has 360 stone to his name, 64 too much, I think. But again, that's not a big deal, I think. For Hera, he should not care too much about this, so he's gonna be fine just doing what he's doing at this point, I believe, right? So, let's just see how exactly that pans out now. So we have a second TC built here for Hera. We have the second TC for Noha. Both of them kind of gonna drop at the same time. You see both players actually kind of mostly swapping their villagers. Anyway, that's what Noha is doing. They're swapping towards that gold. So this is a nice indicator for... If Hera were able to scout this, like so many villagers in gold, he would have known immediately, right, that there is a castle age push incoming. Because he's just definitely going to go for fast castle right now, seeing how many villas there are over here. And those fresh foodstuffs are just, I think, late as well. I think he started researching that very late on. Obviously, like, if you're doing this, I'm not sure if they fix it, by the way, but I'm not sure if you can refund those villagers for 50 still, like, once they're queued up, or whether the bug just persists. But you would prefer not to have that extra. Let's see if his food jumps up, perhaps. That would be the solution, right? It did not jump. So I think he doesn't get the refund here. So that was not cheaper at all. So you would prefer to have, like, one villager finishing the second that this upgrade goes through, as well as the Abba. So that doesn't happen here. Of course, he wastes a little bit of food, but obviously that doesn't quite... I don't think it's going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things. He has 16 on wood and just... no, wait. That's wrong. He has 10 on food, 9 on gold, 8 on wood right now. That's kind of the proper setup, because he does want to have, several things started right now. So one of which it is going to be, of course, the castle age up. Then he wants to probably get the blacksmith going, maybe the market, even if he is... I'm not really sure why probably he's not going to go for a very aggressive push. I suppose that's the reason. Because if you are going for an aggressive push, you probably want to conserve all your resources and make sure that you have enough to just kind of pressure your opponent out later. We can see that... Hey, Smoking Prime, you can go to my YouTube then, because my Twitch has been bugging out occasionally. No, it's actually fine. On my side, the Twitch seems to be fine. But I think my bitrate might be a bit too high for Twitch then. There is a link to my YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, there is a link to my YouTube channel. You can just go there. That's very stable. I think my YouTube is going to be stable. Because I think Twitch has trouble processing my bitrate, so I'll have to maybe play with it later. That's the thing. So, anyway, Noha here. Going for a market, actually, he's going to go for... not much more. Yeah, actually, my Twitch stream crashed. It crashes like every now and then. It crashed for the second time today. I'm just gonna restart it very quickly. So anyhow, when you look at the bottom part of the map, at Hera's base, he's not getting any military at all. So we will, if Noha just goes for a very sneaky push right now, he should be able to get something going as well for himself, right? That's the thing. So Noha is going to go for a single camel archer, actually. I don't think he's going to go for a strong push, though, right? It doesn't kind of seem to be the case that he's gearing towards any larger pushes. He's going for tech, actually. He's going to get the wheelbarrow going. He's probably going to go for... actually, he's going to go for traders. Jeez, that's very uncommon. I have not seen this done like in normal games, actually. I have not seen people go for camels. Sorry, for camel and for traders. This is kind of odd, honestly, but... I guess he's kind of confident he can just keep this trade line alive, or he just kind of believes that Hera is never going to suspect that he might do this. Now, Hera is actually very close to aging up. He only needs like 300 gold to do so. Hera has not researched much, though. He has not researched much at all. The wheelbarrow only, basically, so far, and that woodcutting upgrade to makes you chop down the trees a bit faster. But that's basically all there is. Whereas, yeah, there's actually caravans. That's super strange. But there is actually caravans used by the Abbasids to trade. Did he end up with the trade wing, actually? No, not at all, actually. It's kind of sus, actually. I'm surprised to see this, but that's cool. Maybe he's actually going to click up with the trade wing then. I don't know. So what we see though are those two camel archers just trying to maybe go into the base of the opponent here and to get something done. However, it's actually very unfortunate, but Hera does scout those caravans. They're basically bringing 106 gold each. So it's not bad per se, actually. That's kind of decent gains. But you need to be able to defend this, man. You really need to be able to defend this. He's gonna go up. I'm not really sure what the icon is, actually. That's just gonna be the culture wing. So it's gonna be cheaper upgrades, being the name of the game here for our Abbasid player. He has a lot of upgrades for economy as well. So he's actually set up for a longer game, I think. He's actually dropping double stable though, so it's going to be quite dangerous, I guess. Hera actually just has enough villagers garrisoned here to repel those camels, actually kill one off as well. Which is very expensive unit, right? So losing camels is never good. And no, he's actually not handling his micro too well, man. Like, he's actually just gonna lose a lot of HP on this unit. So it's basically half a camel at this point. Obviously, it shoots full damage, but it just dies twice as fast. So I think it's like 150, 180 food, man. That's so much thrown away. I'm not sure camels are worth the expenditure, right? That's the thing. Because you can make, like, what? 6 archers for a single camel. And a single camel doesn't do that much at all. So Hera reaches castle. Noha is very close behind though, so it's not that he's going to be in a lot of trouble, not in the serious trouble whatsoever. But this is not looking great for. I mean, he is not gonna have like a killer push, that's for sure, right? That's not looking like a Abbasid early aggressive play with castle age all in. He's just gonna do something else here for sure. He's gonna go with Cultural Wing, so this tells me that he's gonna go for Preservation of Knowledge very early, right, to get those upgrade prices lowered. But this usually just kind of means that the game is going to be mostly focused on economy rather than anything else. You can see here, of course, there are some archers moving out. That's kind of the that's a given, I guess, even because Hera did scout that market, right? So he knows what's up, and obviously those traders will be in trouble once those archers reach that kind of eastern corner of the map. They're also upgraded to veteran as we speak, so yeah, Noha is going to have a very hard opening here to his castle age. What he's gonna do for sure is gonna like kind of be producing knights, right? He's gonna make like triple knights, double knights. Actually, he's gonna go for barracks as well, archery range of his own. So it's not terrible actually. He's gonna have like a very good push going, right? And obviously, if Hera is not careful with those archers, he's just going to lose them, and he's going to be in a very exposed position from there. There are actually 3 archers of Noha already waiting up this hill, so if Hera approaches this, he's going to be very quickly seen. And those knights, I think 2 knights can dispose of 6 archers, 9 archers even. I think there's going to be quite an easy duel for those knights, so they'll just kind of joust quite a bit against those flimsy archers. We have 2 knights coming in right now. We have a crossbowman as well. We have some more knights being produced, queued up, like 4 knights queued up as well. And there's going to be a very aggressive actually it's going to be a very aggressive move from Hera. So I think Hera just kind of decides to ditch those 9 archers. I don't believe he's going to be producing much more. So we can see Noha has a very large production line actually, which is indicative of a push. And Hera is not making any units whatsoever. Look, he's making nothing. So if Hera loses his archers, he's just going to get pushed to death, I think. And Noha doesn't want to show his hand. I think Noha is just going to get all those units. He's just going to look at those archers and say, okay, yeah, sure, I'm going to concede this. I don't really care about like a few traders. Like, oh, I lost 2 traders, like, boo-hoo. What Hera is going to do is just going to take his, maybe not monumental army yet, but he's going to take his army very soon. He's just going to go across the map. And Hera doesn't see the production. He's not making any units. Look at this. This is all the military production that Hera has. He's making 3 archers. Look at what Noha is doing right now. Noha is making like 2 knights at a time, a single MAA at a time. He's going to have really, really solid army count. He has 18 army right now compared to like Hera's, I guess, like 5 or 6. 10. 78 workers to Noha's 71, so Noha has a slightly lower worker count. Hera probably just went with, triple TC? Yeah. So he's the King's Palace, but look at how much he is spending on the villagers, and look at what Noha has right now. Noha has a stream of units, actually. Look at how many units are actually going across right now. We have a bunch of knights, lots of those MAAs who are very good at dealing with spears. We have a decent chunk of crossbows and archers. And there's the most important thing for Noha is the production. Look at this. He actually set up the perfect production line. He's sustaining that and actually not getting more resources than he should. So he just needs to build a few houses. Now he just, probably he needs to stop producing knights actually. He just wants to get a few springles now as he goes across the map. Get a few rams as well, because he does need to set up the ram ranch properly. There is no way you break those keeps otherwise. And yeah, you just want to... It's actually a very good opportunity for him to pounce. He has to go for that keep. He has to take those villagers down as soon as he can. He has to at least delay this as much as he can possibly do so. He's actually... Oh no, that's very unfortunate. So he's slightly late to the punch. Actually, he'll have to just reconcile with... I know, just forcing Hera to spend some resources on the keep, I guess. But he needs to have way more to siege this now, because the keep means that he's not going to be able to just kind of freely bypass this, of course. What he could have done, actually, what he could have done is actually, he could have gone around here, they would just kind of taken those knights and, you know, just rode them inside of this base. There's nothing here, that a few of those pathetic English archers, they're not really that good against knights, let's face it. He could have just really induced a lot of chaos, you know, denied mining time, killed a few villagers, probably even gone out with a lot of those knights. He is going to get a few villager kills right now. I feel like this is looking quite decent overall. But in terms of the... actually, he has no upgrades. Look at this. Noha is sitting on 0 upgrades right now. He has double blacksmith actually, but he has not researched a single upgrade altogether. So, I'm not sure, man. I'm not really sure about this. Look, he could get like steel arrow, iron undermesh for sure, right? He's no archer actually, so just iron undermesh. He could have got the bloomer, which is great against archers because it just gives you more damage, because it gives you a better oomph. He's just gonna have to go for this very, very all-in push. He's gonna go for a mango though, which obviously is very good because it can just obliterate any sort of like larger packs of units, be it villagers or archers, right? We have 4 free rams actually coming in, so that's going to be quite a major ram ranch, okay? Coming in from our Abbasid player. But those archers of Hera, they're like, the numbers are very high, and the bonus attack speed is going to be really, really threatening, right? I don't think those knights can actually do anything against this number of units. I do believe that, you know, Noha realizes that he just wants to kind of force his opponent to go away. There's also this poor prelate over here, the poor priest, who's gonna get obliterated. There's a mango shot actually going through, but it doesn't quite connect to the archers. And this keep is actually going to fall. So yes, Hera is actually trading favorably overall, but he's going to lose the keep, and with this he's going to lose his position on the map. Because if you lose this keep, you are actually you're gonna have to concede all this infrastructure, probably those barracks. You have to leave the gold like alone as well. It's a lot of stuff that you really have to kind of give up. This being said, there's another keep. There's also a gold mine over here in the western part of the map, so Hera is not completely screwed, of course. And there's actually a mangonel shop that connects quite decently onto the archers, making Hera go away. And obviously this also makes it very easy for the Springles to connect, because every single time Springle shoots now is going to, you know, hit the unit that has already been hurt. So unless Hera uses that fireplace buff, which probably he doesn't even have, that's likely. No, he does have it. He sets up camp right now, so he's going to regenerate that HP. But if he were to continue fighting, every single shot would be really painful, right? Now, Hera is actually going for the reasonable play here, which is going to be mass MAA. Mass men-at-arms are going to be very efficient against Archer Knight, because they just trade effectively against this. And obviously there are some MAAs on the side of Noha as well, so I do believe he has decent chances against that, especially with lots of Springles. But he needs to add a little bit more units to the front line of his, right? Obviously, that's actually quite a good push so far. It's been going well for Noha. He has been able to get decent kind of leverage on the map. We have 115 villagers for Hera though, to 95 of Noha. So Noha has a decent military advantage, but Hera has triple TC production right now, which is obviously very decent, right, for him. And those archers are going to go and pick away at the siege rams right now, which is going to be quite a scary prospect, I suppose. And that mango is actually not going to connect to anything at all. We see those actual Springles in the back as well, just firing away quite a bit. There's a cancelled mangonel construction, so he should really get back to this, because I think this mango will do way more than those little archers here. They are not going to be contributing much against those MAAs, and I do think this might be the game-winning fight for for Hera actually, because he has so many MAAs that he's just going to be able to dispose of the artillery. He has so many archers as well that that's going to be a very difficult task for those knights to fight. Because let's face it, this number of archers, this critical mass, they're going to be very, very good at disposing of the cavalry at this point, because they're just doing so much damage they can fight siege units almost, right? Which is quite scary of a prospect. Now Hera did lose most of his infantry in the process though, so he's defending, but he did have to give up quite a decent chunk of infantry to do so. So right now it's just artillery versus archers. I do think I'm gonna put my money on artillery until some sort of reinforcements arrive. Hera's not paying attention, he's gonna lose a lot of archers here, look at this. 5 already biting the dust, and there are Springles as well firing at the infantry. So as long as Noha can actually keep this Mangonel going, actually, I think he's going to be in a very good position, because if he can just keep this Mango alive, if he can... Oh my, look at this, 10 archers dead right now. And actually those crossbows with the buffs, they're so good against infantry. So he makes so many crossbows that he just basically shreds through. He has 18 crossbowmen right now, and they're really good against infantry. And those rounds, by the way, the rounds that we left here to kind of ram ranch on their own, they're actually still alive and kicking. So it's kind of surprising, but Hera is very far behind right now. He has so much gold, look at this, but he doesn't have enough food, because that's basically the tax that you have to pay for having so much villager production. Triple TC takes away a lot of resources, and there is a Mangonel, double Mangonel actually shooting from the back here. There are so many Springles. Hera has no anti-artillery right now, and there are lots of rounds just kind of setting up for this nice ram ranch over here for Noha. Noha has a very large army, and it's a very solid army at that. Look at this, there's nice artillery backup, he has crossbows, he has knights, he has lots of infantry. He's just gonna siege this kind of leftmost position here. The western side of the external base of Hera is really going to be screwed hard. I mean, you actually can get some extra upgrades. You can probably just get the boiling oil, I guess. You can get the siege workshops, but honestly, just exposing your production like this, if Noha realizes this is up, like, he will definitely punish you very hard. And Hera has a lot of keeps, right? Hera has a very nicely fortified base. But honestly, like, every single second that passes, I think I'm gonna favor Noha more and more. Look at this, he has so much infantry, so much military, he has very good army composition. He can start raiding here, actually. I would really love to see a few knights just kind of going into the lines, behind the lines of Hera, just gonna be... Look at how much exposed eco there is here. Like, there's this entire base here, those berries here, there are lots of kind of wood lines here also occupied. So I'm very surprised, I'm baffled almost to see Noha not raiding with this cavalry at all. Yeah, thank you, Haunted. I might get that, yeah. I mean, the time is in the middle of the screen, right? It probably might not be enough. Guys, so... hi, by the way. Nice to see you, Haunted GTA. Lovely to see you back here. So, Hera is actually... I think he's okay for now, as long as he can produce some sort of artillery backup anyway. As long as he can get, like, a few of those Springles to deal with the artillery of Noha, I think he's going to be fine-ish. This being said, Noha has been using this time on the map to obviously get some control. So he has been mining lots of resources, he has been also getting relics. And I think that Noha might actually be kind of eyeing Imperial Asia, but so is Hera. Look at this, he has enough resources to go up to Imp right now. I'm surprised, I'm really surprised that there is nothing here for Noha. Noha has never actually bothered to move his cavalry anywhere else on the map. Look at this, look at how much exposed ground there is over here in the right as well. So you can just go out and do so much. Obviously Noha has decent gold income because he has been able to cover the ground in terms of relics. He has one over here, probably should have more. The way that he has, what has he been doing? I thought he was picking up every single relic on the map, but it's not true. So there's a big fight actually breaking up over here. We see those Springles from the east actually probably taken down completely. The archers firing away, but there are two Mangonels here actually firing at the lineup of Hera. Hera has some squishy infantry, so Mango is very good at dealing with spears and with archers. So there's a lot of crossbows as well that will shred your front line if you're Hera. So Hera is going to lose a lot of those kind of rather expensive units in the MAAs, right? So the crossbows are just absolutely obliterating that lineup. This being said, there are those, as I said, there are Springles in the east, or in the west actually, just kind of trying to harass Noha from that position. So it's not going to be necessarily game over. It's obviously a decent trade for Noha. I think getting rid of all those MAAs, just thinning out the numbers on the opponent's side is definitely good for him. Especially that he's going up to Imperial, but Hera is not. So Hera decided to go, I think Hera decided to go for a Hail Mary of sorts. Noha really needs to get the hell out of there. See, Noha has to just leave, because he's gonna go up to it. Like, if he gets the Imperial level or tier units here, he's just gonna do super well later on. But he's not doing this at all. So, the problem is that, obviously, like, Hera won this fight quite handsomely, right? Noha lost a lot of his military. Hera has 55 military to Noha's 46. That's not actually that bad. But the problem for Hera is that, you know, his opponent is going to be Imp. And Hera is nowhere near Imp right now. He spent a lot of resources to just kind of repel that siege. And I think he kind of might be believing that he has some breathing room, but the reality is that he really has to go up to Imperial himself really, really soon. I mean, he's going to see that very soon, because, you know, as English you can probably just get all your villagers. Like, you can maybe just grab all those bad boys over here and bad girls and just kind of build a landmark and you're gonna be okay. But generally speaking, you really don't want to be too far behind into the Imp. I think he clicked up right now. Yeah, with 16 villagers, which is insanity, right? But he's gonna get 16 villagers here with the Blackship Palace, which is kind of a nice thing for him, I guess. Because this means this is like a nice opening on the map, right? He's gonna have a very nice fortified position, trying to reinforce this place, this location over here. Blackship Palace obviously has a very large range as well. Let's see the range of that thing, by the way, because it might actually be reaching. No, it doesn't. If it were built a little bit forward from here, I think this would be way, way more dangerous. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure Noha realizes what's going on. He will realize now. He could have definitely just kind of at least threatened this, maybe even cancelled the landmark, but this doesn't happen, and Noha is actually going to let this landmark finish. Those traders not gonna be kind of living for much longer, I believe, because this is just going to be a very quick kill. This Blackship Palace is very dangerous. As a kind of, you know, defensive landmark, you can really get destroyed by this. But Noha pounces on those villagers, so it's going to be a very nice trade back against Hera. Both players actually hit Imperial Age. No Imperial upgrades yet, I believe, right? So we see there's Elite Lancer for Noha being researched. For Hera, there is nothing. Actually, Hera is not producing any units. He clicks the Elite Spears, he clicks the Elite MAAs. So those are the upgrades that we'll see. By the way, this keep is really shredding those Springles. You really have to get out of this, Noha. Just back away, you just need to get some solid, like, real siege right now. You need cannons, I think. Let's see what exactly is being researched, by the way, in terms of eco. So in terms of eco, Hera is gonna go for fertilization and no uni upgrades yet. Noha is gonna go for that. There is no blacksmith. What the F is this? No, actually, no, he has blacksmith. He has single blacksmith. I'm just blind. So, Noha getting all the Imperial upgrades going as soon as he can. He's getting all those blacksmith upgrades up and going. He's also getting nice eco upgrades, so the crosscut saw is being researched, so he has a decent sort of production here. He's also gonna go for those elite elite lancers, but in this regard, actually, of course, this tech is way cheaper for Abbasid because they have that culture wing upgrade. That means that their tech is just 30% cheaper overall, but it is still kind of a sketchy situation because you really are kind of locking yourself out because you're producing too much, right? There are lots of units stuck in production, so what Noha should probably do right now is just kind of I guess just try trading a little bit, because Hera is obviously slightly behind here. So Noha is gonna listen to me now, he's gonna go for a trade. There are elite MAAs in the lineup though, against basic crossbows and against basic mangonels. So I do not think this is favorable trade for Noha, because Noha has not actually done that research yet. He's going to lose this fight quite handsomely because he has no elite units against a full elite lineup of Hera. He has elite longbows, he has elite spears. I think this is a huge overstep for Noha. Actually, he might lose the game off the back of this singular play, because he has not really done much at all here. I mean, that's not a terrible situation overall, because he has still a lot of artillery here, and he does have 2 cannons and lots of production, so he has lots in the bank as well. So Hera obviously is still quite comfortable over here. That's true. But I think Noha can mostly replenish this army, and he's gonna have those upgrades come in as well, so it's not entirely terrible. So he's gonna get the elite crossbows, he's gonna get elite knights, he's gonna get elite... he's gonna get the siege upgrades as well. The problem is he's actually going to do that very, very late. There is also actually like some small attempt at harassment, but there is a keep now. So this keep is going to safeguard this eastern side of Hera's base. Now those archers are actually going to be just attacking the monk, I guess, or something, or knight. And there's a keep that does go up for Noha, so Noha is going to be able to hold this for sure. The 2 cannons actually that are going to be super valuable here, because they are basically one-shotting those heavy units. And there are also Springles here, of course, so I don't believe Hera can break this at all. There is no siege for Hera either, so he's just going to probably try to trade. But honestly, there are lots of elite units right now in the lineup of Noha, so Noha should be fine just kind of fighting this. Noha, though, still no university, so there's no tech for anybody really. So Hera should have some nice uni upgrades if we just go to check his setup out. Or yeah, so Hera is actually not researching. Hera is researching elite army tactics, so his melee infantry is gonna get some bonuses. He should probably go for incendiary arrows later, because that's also quite good. But obviously losing that Berkshire Palace over here means that this gold is going to be no longer for this world. This being said, there is lots of gold on this kind of eastern part of the map, so you have lots of those deposits. Over here, of course, there's also a relic that nobody really dares to contest, or two relics actually. That would be nice to have, I think. So both players are actually not playing that game the best, like they're not doing the best, they're not doing their best anyway in this particular matchup, so I'm pretty certain Hera can do better than this. So, but then Hera's playing lots of Age of Empires 2 recently, so that's probably why he's kind of out of shape a little bit. So in terms of, you know, military supply, both players are pretty much capped. Noha is actually lagging behind Hera a little bit, but Hera does have no, actually they're equal, but Noha lost that big fight, I think that's... He has never really recovered from that, but since Hera doesn't quite have that much siege yet, I do believe that Noha still has the upper hand, because he has those very expensive cannons that take a lot of time to make, so even if he takes those fights right now, he's going to have a decent chance of winning, of course, because those cannons are really, really strong. He has 3 of them right now, probably more on the way as well, and there's a lot of elite infantry and elite range units in the making. Noha, you have to criticize him though. He has no freaking. He still has not a. He hasn't built a single university, so he's not gonna get any of those elite upgrades yet. And Hera probably is going to get those relatively soon. There are cannons for Noha actually in the back, so they're gonna start shooting away. And there's a nice-ish flank actually coming from the left against that lineup of archers, but there are actually no archers for Hera here. They're just 5 or 6. It is mostly men-at-arms and spears, so it is going to be quite a dirty fight. There are nice reinforcements coming from Noha from the north though, so Noha is actually handling this fight quite well. There is also a lot of artillery. Noha hitting Golden Tier level 3, so it's going to be a large income of food, so he can probably just keep producing. They have to admit that, you know, Noha has spent a lot of his bank right now, but those cannons from the back shooting all the time are going to probably ensure that Noha doesn't quite lose this fight. Look at this. I believe that the DPS output, the sheer DPS of 3 or 2 bombard cannons is just going to be so large that there is no way that the infantry can break it. So Courage is going for this kind of basic bitch setup with very little tech units actually. He's going to lose this fight despite having very nice numbers advantage. And Noha actually trades very favorably because he had less at the start of this fight, he has more at the end of it, I think. 76 military to Hera's 65, so actually Noha is doing very, very well in this matchup. And you have a very good game on our hands, guys, because he's, like, both players are actually playing super well. And yeah, it's just a very interesting matchup. So no resolution happening yet. So there's this single poor Springle, by the way, not finished by anybody. So I think Noha should try to finish building this bad boy. I think he's gonna do this right away. Yeah. So he should probably just use those MAAs to finish constructing this. There are 4 cannons, guys. That's really, really dangerous for Hera, because those cannons can basically insta-kill a lot. So you can see that cannons actually trading against other cannons, so we lose 1 cannon on the side of Noha. Hera has a large number of infantry. He's actually fighting, so Hera is, I think, a favorite in this fight, because he's fighting inside of the range of his own keep, whereas Noha is not really doing that. Noha doesn't quite have that much going for him in terms of the you know, static defense, but again, like, Noha has such strong lineup. So since Hera only has archers, and Noha has crossbows, they deal so well those heavy armored units, and cannons of course provide excellent artillery support. And Hera is actually running out of resources, and Noha is probably taking this fight, because he can just kite away. Look at this, look at how efficient the crossbows are right now. This is insane amount of damage, plus 11 against heavy, 33 damage against those poor MAAs, so they're just gonna lose those trades quite handsomely. And this counter is actually very effective right now. And you also see that there is this university upgrade finally dropping for Noha. So he's gonna have a lot of damage here because of the chemistry. Oh, I think it's chemistry, isn't it? No, it's not chemistry, it's something else. And he has incendiary arrows, right? Those are incendiary arrows. So he's gonna make sure that this upgrade actually carries him through those fights right now. Hera, I think, is going to have to kind of go for this last ditch effort. And if he doesn't win this fight right here, he's gonna get into a lot of trouble later down the line, because his micro has been quite off. Actually, he lost those cannons as well. He has not enough gold to keep producing the cannons all the time. There are 3 cannons on the side, or 4 cannons actually on the side of Noha. because there's a cannon, I think, in place over here as well. There's a cannon on the keep, and Hera's taking a very bad trade right here. She's taking a terrible trade, actually. I'm not sure he realizes there's 2 huge gold deposits here, because he's really fighting like a hero for the gold here, I believe. And Noha is like very comfortable, actually. Let's see the map quickly, because they stopped fighting. Hera doesn't. No, he should be aware there's gold. No, I think there's just a spectator back. Hera has exploded, so he knows there's gold here. He just doesn't feel like contesting this, I guess. I'm not sure why, but you can just send villagers. You know, you have no reason to be kind of forcing a fight over here. Like, you have almost exhausted this deposit. So obviously they're struggling for resources, and I do believe Noha is trading a bit better. Like, Noha is taking better and better trades, and those crossbows, they're really, really powerful right now. In terms of economy, like, we have precision, so there are like some small upgrades missing. Like, there is no farming upgrade here for Noha, and for Hera it's going to be quite a few actually missing. So he has like slightly weaker economy. There is no mining research almost at all, I think. Yeah, there's just the first mining upgrade. There are no wood upgrades either. So I do think that Noha has slightly better economy despite having a little bit fewer villagers overall. Which means that, yeah, Noha is actually taking a very decent trade here again. He's going to harass his opponent. Hera is actually struggling to retain control in the game. Obviously, he's capped, so is Noha, though, so they're actually still equally matched. But Noha is actually, you know, inkling forward. He's going to probably take control of this production line here for Hera. So Hera will have to look to move his production slightly to the back, maybe to this kind of eastern side of the map as well. Because this keep is going to fall. And as I speak, it falls. And Hera is probably just going to go for another fight here, honestly. I think it's going to be another fight as we speak. He has a lot of those spears, actually. So I think Hera's solution to this problem is actually just building a lot of trash units that support those crossbows, since, you know, Noha does have a decent chunk of cavalry. So those elite spears are actually very good against that. But the spears are going to take a lot of damage from catapults, right? So Mangonels are actually going to obliterate those spears quite nicely. And obviously the damage coming, there are 4 Mangos, guys, there are 4 Mangonels here in the lineup. So as those shoot those rocks, it's going to be a very, very hard trade for Hera right now. We see both players actually prioritizing the sacred site, right? So it's kind of interesting to see that, like, both of them actually doing this at the same time. So Noha is going to settle for that eastern sacred site that is within the wall of his. He's also going to steal that relic. Whereas Hera is going to try to contest that middle, but he's probably going to be unsuccessful here, because there's a lot of Noha actually walking through the map. He's going to lose that priest and just kind of probably casually walk away, and there is no extra gold income for Hera. And Hera so desperately does need this, actually, that, yeah, it's just kind of insane how much desperation I think you can see in Hera's play right now, because Hera is actually struggling for gold. Like, he needs to have some sort of control to be able to actually start gathering gold again on the map. And Noha is actually getting a very nice army here. You can see that, like, this very good quality, right? 4 bombers, lots of those kind of valuable gold units. And Noha is actually getting, I think he has most of the tech done already, right? He's done the breeding. So cavalry is actually going to be very strong. I'd love to see some of those camel upgrades, maybe like I'm not sure if he's that's like 3+1 armor for everybody, right? That's +1/+1 as well. So actually getting those upgrades from the House of Wisdom is going to probably be quite beneficial. We see there's actually a nice pincer move from Hera, so Hera probably will take a favorable fight here just because he has a decent position. He kind of flanks from the east. And Noha is actually struggling for control over here, so there are catapults firing away at that kind of squishy front line though. And there is some cavalry and some infantry coming from the west right now from Noha, so Noha is going to probably have this nice edge over here. And honestly, this is not looking that great for Noha in the end, so he loses a lot of his units. Also, those cannons are firing away at the artillery of Noha. And Noha is actually out of position here quite a bit, so Hera does take a very good trade in the end. He's probably going to clean up quite nicely. And this position will have to be forfeited by Noha now. So Noha does lose a lot of units. He doesn't trade well at all, he just loses the fight straight away. And yeah, those cannons, those bombers are just going to put a lot of pressure. Noha should not be doing this. Noha should really just back the hell away from here. He cannot allow this to continue. He cannot just throw away units. He probably might actually take down those cannons though, so that's not bad of a oh no! The cannon lives with 36 HP just because Noha misfocused some of those units. So he actually is going to probably lose the siege workshops, which is quite big because you do want to have more siege workshops than fewer, of course. And there is some fighting actually happening in the middle as well, so Noha does actually secure this location of towers, out of all things. And yeah, Noha is actually going to be forced to relinquish this kind of western side of his own base. We see actually 2 keeps being built here by Noha as well. I think those are arrows. Noha's keeps, yeah. Both of those are actually going to be Noha. So Noha is actually going to try to contest this gold deposit, since he has taken away like all the gold from this western side of the map. It is going to be the time to fight for the east right now. And there is this deposit that Hera is mining as well here, and there's this deposit that Noha is mining. So Noha does actually want to probably take some villagers through that wall here. She should probably want to have a gate, to be honest. And once he produces a gate, he's going to be able to go through and just kind of construct some sort of static defense. The problem here is, of course, that at the same time Noha is getting pushed in the west. So there's a lot happening here actually. So as I said, he's going to have to forfeit the production here. And this probably forces Noha to just look for another opening. He just needs to replenish his army, because he's at a very low supply compared to Hera right now. Hera is at capped supply, actually. So 109 villages, 91 military, and Noha is at measly 26 military. So I don't believe he can take a fight. He has to really just be very careful now, because if he makes another serious mistake like the one that, like in that fight that Hera found, he might just lose the game straight away. And Noha has actually very few I think Noha is done, guys, actually. I'm so surprised. He played so well, but Hera just shows superior macro skills. And I guess he had like way more economy going in the end. So English, of course, get that extra gold from farming. I think Hera is just sustaining his gold very well. And Noha is having so much trouble just even making a bank work for himself, because he has 142 supply to Hera's cap, and Hera has so much to replenish. So even if Hera loses some army right now, even if he gets cleaned up here, Hera can refill. And there's also a relic here, which is obviously not great, because you don't have that passive gold income as Noha anymore. And Hera is actually taking a nice position here as well, that keep. There is one keep being built here, but it's not really being finished even. There are like 2 villagers constructing, so it's not going to take any... It's not going to be finished anytime soon. And Hera is actually just kind of inching forward. He's going to eke out a nice lead over here. He's just going to go for this open base of Noha right now. He's probably just going to be able to take away the entire game right away. I do not think Noha has enough resources to just effectively fight Hera at this point. He was just kind of outmatched by the economy of the English. Those farms are ridiculous, man. Look at how many farms Hera has. So Hera is not really mining that much gold. Hera is just farming like crazy, I think. He should have like 50 farms, yeah. That's kind of the... I actually saw the English do this before. They go for like 50, 60 farms, and they generate shitloads of gold from the tech, right? There's a tech, unique tech for the English. So let's continue the siege though. So Hera actually does eke out a nice position here. He's going to keep pressuring, and obviously like every single lost construction right now, every single lost building for Noha is very meaningful, right? So Noha doesn't quite want to give up this position, but I do not believe he has enough to stop Hera. I don't believe this is enough to actually stop this assault. So there's this nice frontal assault over here. He's gonna use that cavalry to kind of try to engage, but there are just so many spears here that I don't believe those knights can actually handle this too well. There are cannons actually firing away on both sides. Obviously there is a Mangala that will clear up some of the infantry for the cavalry to maybe find a nice engagement. And I do think Noha is actually holding on quite nicely. Noha is sitting on 150 supply though, and Hera is replenishing every single unit he loses. So even if Noha holds this, which looks likely but not kind of settled yet, even if Noha defends this side, even if this happens, Hera is still going to have a very, very decent position. He has so much to replenish that, look at this. Noha 130 supply, Hera probably still at 200, yeah. Noha is done, guys. Noha is dead. Noha doesn't realize that maybe he doesn't realize how far ahead Hera is with his eco. But Hera does know this. I think Hera is kind of absolutely cognizant of the fact that he just... all he needs to do now is just kind of push the advantage, keep trading, because every single trade he takes is going to nullify any lead that Noha might have been able to develop himself. Hera is permanently... Look at the production of Hera, by the way. Hera has like 30 units queued. Noha has like barely half a line. He's nothing. He's basically starved right now. He has 123 supply to full 200, and he's forced to tap out, guys. Hera takes the game, and he is going to emerge victorious out of this epic 40-something minute struggle. Guys, this was such a good game. Holy shit. That's impressive performance from... We have to say, Hera is a really good player. So in the end, despite the economy being quite even, actually, okay, Hera did have a lot more in the end, but throughout the game, I think Noha had nice advantages. Noha had those kind of nice engagements early on, like in the Castle Age and the Imperial. he just kind of took one bad engagement. Since he had like a little bit weaker economy, Hero was just able to replenish and just kind of end the game from that. Because like Hera found a very good flank when Noha was trying to move like around the edges of the map, and he just kind of took the game from that singular fight, I think. So one good fight can actually turn the game, and obviously, even though this is a positional game, Age of Empires 2 is going to sometimes just favor the player who finds that one excellent fight and capitalizes on that. And Hera was really good at just kind of recognizing his chances, pushing the issue, and winning the game altogether. Very high research count, by the way, and Noha was sitting on 4 relics, still not enough gold to actually contest what Hera was doing. That was the fight. This was the fight. Look, Hera did not lose anything, man. Noha just got obliterated, I think. That was the bad fight that Noha took, and there's just no coming back from that, honestly. He's just too far behind at this point. No matter what he does, he's just screwed. Okay, people, I have to go now, so thank you for watching. I do have to leave, so I'm very glad that you guys were here. This is the first kind of RTX 3070 stream. Thank you for coming, guys. I know not all of you stayed throughout, but I'm happy that we had like decent spectatorship and so on and so forth. So thank you guys for coming, and yeah, stay tuned for more, because we'll be streaming way more and casting way more Age of Empires 4 in the upcoming future. So see you around, people. It was a blast. I think it was a blast.